All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here this fine Saturday morning to play in the Legacy Super Qualifier. I think these are like big RCQs. They use like top four, I guess, to go to the RC or whatever. I don't know. I just like playing in like big high stakes Legacy events, like a little stuff that's like bigger than the just usual challenges and stuff. And I hadn't streamed one of these weekend events in a little bit, so decided to fire up the stream. Got about 10 minutes till it starts. We'll chill out here, sit, talk about the list and stuff. Made a couple of changes that we were talking about after the stream on Tuesday. I ended up adding the third Skyclave apparition. I just feel like there's so much like tempo and stuff. You just want more removal in your deck. Skyclave is looking better against both blue-black tempo and blue-red variants of Delver. Specifically, just like extra answers to Kaito, one of the best cards out of blue-black against you, and then extra answers to Core Seal Cutter out of the blue-red decks, which most of the decks seem to have adopted. Not all of them. I definitely still see Delver around that's just like blue-red or like blue-red splash, questing druid, still, stuff like that. But I think Skyclave covers a lot of those bases. And I ended up cutting the second copy of Flicker Wisp for it. I think Flicker Wisp is a little bit weak in the red splash specifically. You do have some like decent synergy. It's like easier to have a chainsaw in play than it is to have a phantom blade. It's obviously nuts with formal wear. I did kind of want the second formal wear. I do think the second formal wear is really good. I'm not really sure where I want to fit it in. Something I talked about on Tuesday. It was either like the third Skyclave, second formal wear, second Witch Enchanter. It's possible that I even want to do this and play 34 lands. I've been kind of feeling that pressure a little bit, but opted to go with third Skyclave today. Second formal wear, it feels a little silly cutting a Wisp to add the other formal wear because Wisp is like so good with formal wear, so I think this is what I've landed on. I also swapped back to the 4 Vistas, the aforementioned tempo matchups. It just feels like I really want stable mana, and I don't want to have to. I want the extra ability to fetch basic mountain in like Delver matchups and stuff to cast your red elemental blasts and your chainsaw and your broadside bombardier and stuff, and not just get like wastelanded out of games. Definitely feels like more of a basic land meta than a surveil meta, at least to me. So, playing the 4 Vista, playing the third Skyclave, and those are the only changes from Tuesday. We are all signed up. I don't really know what we're going to do between rounds. I kind of wanted to think about... I just looked over to the side of my screen and I saw my deck list is called Mono White. Stompy is good this time, I swear. Because I was thinking about another Mono White Stompy list that maybe we'll build. And maybe play between rounds, like on the Daybreak account or something, so I can just like concede if I'm in the middle of a match. And the challenge is starting. But we'll think about that after like the first round or something. We'll sit and chill, let people trickle in. We are praying for just playing against tempo a bunch today. Don't want to see any oops all spells. Don't want to see any I don't know. I don't want to name a bunch of other bad matchups and like jinx it. I think D&T is really good right now. It has, you know, like a couple of disaster matchups, but that's kind of always been D&T, right? You never want to like play against people putting Thassa's Oracle in their deck. Almost every other matchup is fair game. I will just chill out for a little bit. I'm also, I think, assuming that this tournament goes moderately well, I'm probably just gonna like stream until we start like falling off a cliff, which is probably like early X2 or like late X3 or something. I don't know how far the prizes go down. Yeah, about top 32 is where it's like stops really being worth it. We'll see. We'll just not think about it, and we'll just do well today anyway. Well, end the stream when morale is low and win rate is lower. Since I'm not really playing for anything in specific, I don't even like particularly want the RC invite. The past like 4 or 5 times I've qualified for a not Legacy tournament playing Legacy, I've like played in the event and just not had any fun because I'm just very exclusively a Legacy player at heart. Just can't play Pioneer or Standard or Modern or whatever. It just never really sticks with me. I should maybe log into the Daybreak account. don't know the last time I did that. I might need to input my whatever code, the two-factor authentication. There we go. I know words. What? That is my password. Don't lie to me. There we go. Alright, authenticating. Should be good. I'll just line this up and then minimize it. Or not, that's fine. What I really want to be doing between rounds is playing Claire Obscure, but I have that for PlayStation, not PC. But I've been playing that a bunch lately. I'll just have to play it after the stream. Should be starting soon. I think it's like 9:05 is official launch time. How many rounds is this gonna be? It's like what, 8, 9, almost. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna hit 9. 213 players. Be a big 8-rounder. We have 4 minutes. There's no way. Does this have any QPs? You don't get any QPs for this event? That kind of sucks. QPs are like one of the actual things I want, just because I don't play in enough prelims or anything. Or do enough league grinding to ever have enough QPs. Especially because like the Tuesday Night Legacy prelims just don't fire with any regularity. Hey, Rosie Dog 88. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Thanks for the good luck. Show the new ink. Oh yeah, I didn't show. My tattoo is now fully colored. I just got this section finished yesterday. It's really bad lighting in here. I don't know why. Like, is one of the lights up there out? I think. I'm on Omnitel, very little experience Legacy. I mean, Omnitel, the show and tell decks are pretty good right now. Best of luck. Stock Up's a real good one, but yeah, I have this all finished. I should probably like grab the camera to show off or something. Finished my Yorion tattoo. I'm gonna post it on Blue Sky later once I get like a good picture of it. Very pumped. I want to say good luck today. I love looking here. Like content awesome. Thanks, appreciated. It's been a while since I've been here. How's it going? It is going pretty good. Good to see you. Yeah, I got the Sky Noodle tattoo. It is still very tender from from yesterday. Still in the very early stages of healing. Which is why I'm wearing this tank top, so I don't have to futz with sleeves touching my bare skin. Got a couple of minutes left. I didn't play any warm-up games. This tournament started early enough, 9 a.m. over here, to where like sometimes if it's like a challenge or something at like 10 a.m. or whatever, sometimes I'll get started a little early and play a warm-up match. I think my first match of the day is usually like a little sloppy, so it helps if I, shake off the weariness, kind of get into an actual Magic Mind state. I don't really know how to do that outside of actually just trying to play a game. Oh, we're getting a little close to that 9 rounds, huh? No. We're like 10 people away. Hey, the Wild, thanks for the follow. Appreciated. Modded in my channel and not following. Can't believe it. I imagine that's like a weird, Twitch blip. Wear tank tops all the time now to show off the tattoo. Hell yeah. How unfortunate. I have to show off my fucking sick-ass arm tattoo now. I'm excited to go to my first, actual, at some point go to a Paper Magic tournament with this. I literally haven't gone to a Paper Magic event since, February in the Pro Tour. I don't even know when the next one's going to be. But guess I didn't follow way back when. I used to talk about D&T and doing legacy tournaments. Yeah, it had been probably a long time ago. Imagine someone asking what you're on. Yeah, it's going to be, alright, keep, reveal companion, just pull up the sleeve. Alright, let's get started, huh? My opponent has a bunch of results in early 2025 on Sneak and Show, and that's it. This hand is a little weak against Sneak and Show, but we'd hard mull for Thalia or Witch Enchanter. We have a Johnny into Recruit Witch Enchanter potentially. We have Solitude for a Show and Tilden Emrakul or something. I think this hand's keepable. They also might not be in Sneak and Show, Their results are from, 4 months ago. And they're all within a 2-week period, so those are the only results they have, so. Could be on any other deck for all I know, and we'll keep this. Be happy. Looks like probably Sneak and Show. Ooh, Aether Vial. That's nice. Take those, absolutely. Helps me try to utilize this Wasteland. Maybe they fetch Surveil here. Wasteland has gotten a little bit better against traditionally, not very useful matchups. It is often that Wasteland was not the most exciting versus a lot of Sneak and Show draws. Because they just, they're so easy to fetch basics in your 2-color deck. But Surveils often incentivize you to not fetch out your basics. I'm absolutely just going to Wasteland here rather than try to cast this Ajani. Hopefully we can top deck Thalia would be nice. Or they just miss and oh dang, I didn't say that fast enough. Oh shit. Sometimes you just have it. Alright, so we just cast a Johnny here then. It doesn't set up for being able to cast a 3-drop, but we're likely just going to Violent Recruiter go get, Witch Enchanter. Just adds a bunch to the board, cast a Johnny, Violent Thalia, take up... We had the potential to, Violent Recruiter, cast Bombardiers and try to... Probably not lethal, but almost lethal, but what's more likely is that I'm going to hold up Violent 3 with Recruiter of the Guard, and then if they don't put me in a Witch Enchanter situation, then we can just Violent Recruiter go get Bombardiers, and then Bombardiers kill them. Better lucky than good. What, top deck Aether Vial on turn 1, and then top deck Thalia on turn 3, and, like, just actual perfect, incredibly perfect, plans? I don't see. It's all skill. Separates the good D&T players from the bad. You can daze this. Should I have put in Thalia and then cast this? Doesn't really affect them. It, like, forces them to crack the fetch, but I imagine they're probably cracking it anyway. Also, I'm, like, pretty happy if they daze this, I think, with, like, sending themselves back a land and then getting Thalia'd. I think I actually just vial this in now. Maybe I wait. Let's see if they fetch upkeep. There we go. Let's put this in now. In case they want to cast a second Brainstorm or something. Be sick if I just had Leo and Arbiter here. Just insane blowout. Tragically unplayable. Sure. Alright, so we have Insulation versus a lot of stuff. Solitude for big creature. If they cast Show until next turn, we can recruit Witch Enchanter in response to Shoot an Omniscience. So we can just Elegant Parlor attack for 5. Do we have lethal if we draw untapped land for Recruiter Bombardiers? This would be 5. Cast Bombardiers is 6-7 damage. 8-9 damage. So it's either 7 plus 7 is only 14, or 7 plus throw 2 damage is 9, and then I have 1, 2, 3 creatures. Okay, so not lethal anyway. So we can just Elegant Parlor here, attack for 5, hold up Recruiter. Although Elegant Parlor, when I'm going to always Violent Recruiter the Guard, is, I guess, a little bit stupid, huh? I guess we'll just play Fetch. I kind of just want to get tap land out of the way. Maybe we just mill a bad card that we never want. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad card that I never want, but we'll mill it. So if they just go land, Show and Tell, we Violent Recruiter in response. If they don't, am I just supposed to try to kill them? Okay, well, looks like they're doing something. Nope. It's Sneak and Show. What are the odds that they have main deck interaction of any kind? Like, it's gotta be like 0%, right? I'm just gonna kill them? This is, even if they Force of Will Solitude, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's like 14 damage or something, even if they have Force of Will Solitude for like the 7 damage. I think I just go for lethal here. I don't want to give my opponent more time. Take this file up. Oh, this is they're at 5 life. Oh, wow, that's, yeah, they're super dead. All right, cool. I guess let's just throw this Recruiter. Oh, fuck, did I? Hang on. Nice. Whew. I imagined that Thalia top deck was really game-saving there. Or they might have had, like, you know, sneak attack a turn too late or something. Taking game 1 for Sneak and Show is always a very good feeling. They've had Omnisciences in this deck before. Let's see what's bad first. These things definitely come in. This definitely comes out. God, based on how many non-basics they had, it's like you almost all bag against the boon, but they only need the one island, so function pretty normally. Then cut Plows. I guess that's a pretty easy swap in Mindbag Trap. Plow is okay, because you could Plow an Atraxa, but we have 4 Solitudes in the deck for that. Plowing an Atraxa is not really that exciting either. You can't Plow an Emrakul. I think this is probably fine. Is there anything else that's, like, worse? Not really. Formor is nice. For post-board, they will have more cards, like Abrades or interaction pieces, or just, you know, countering your important cards. And you can Formor back your Loron or something. If your Loron gets countered and they cast Show and Tell or whatever, you can put in the Formor, get it back, blow up an Omniscience, what have you. Skyclave is kind of mediocre, but it tags Sneak Attack pretty importantly. Also, since they saw Thalia, there's a chance that they play out Lotus Petals preemptively to play around Thalia, and you can tag them with Skyclave. You still have 2 equipment for Stoneforge, our clock, and our interaction. Seems fine. Alright. Let us reveal our companion. This seems a little dicey, and we have a lot better cards to mulligan for now. Now that our deck has 2 flutes and 4 rebs in it. We do have, like, they mull to 6. I think that inclines me to want to just mull for a better hand. I think on the draw, I just have no interaction if they just, like, cast Show and Tell on turn 2 or 3 or Sneak Attack. We have Solitude, but I think I'd rather mulligan this and try to find Red Elemental Blast, Thalia, Derper Flute. I think all make for better hands. This hand's, like, kind of close. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's terrible. Oh, God. Caracas now. On 6, we keep this. We don't have red sources, so Reb's not a good draw. We can bottom Vial. Do I go 5? Do I just keep this? Is this hand ever winning versus Sneak and Show? We'll go to 5. Alright, yeah, rewarded. This hand's just infinitely better in every possible way. I think we bottom Formula Solitude here. We're on a mull to 5, so Solitude Pitchcast is just fairly unlikely. We have Reb to hopefully stop a Show and Tell. We have Thalia and Stoneforge as our clock. It's going to be a little awkward sequencing, holding up a Reb versus, like, getting Stoneforge and Cauldron in, but we'll see how it goes. I think this looks good to me. I think the ideal for this hand is that they just have a turn 2 unprotected Show and Tell. And we just get to cast our Reb on curve. This is the one thing that's much more tense in the deck. In terms of D&T playing Splash 1 drops, is that holding up Reb's a lot harder than just, like, casting Thoughtseize, right? Because this is a deck that loves to tap out. I'm not allowed to Reb that. I think this Reb basically has to be set aside for Show and Tell. I'm gonna fetch Surveil, cast Thalia. I think a little awkward if we get Force of Will because then our shield's down for Reb, but I guess then they just Force of Will the Reb and kill me. But yeah, like Thoughtseize you can just always cast there, but Reb oftentimes demands that you just hold it up in reaction to what your opponent's doing, which is not always what D&D wants to do. It's a little bit awkward for... Maybe we'll just, like, draw a second Reb or something. Oh, God. don't think I want this enough. If my first Thalia gets countered, I can always Stoneforge Formalware. I could Wasteland and hold up Reb again. Getting Thalia down into Wasteland plus hold up Reb would be nice. Or potentially like Wasteland Stoneforge. They have 5 cards. 5 cards is so many. They just brainstormed. I think I'm going to cast Thalia here. Maybe second brainstorm here. No, just fetching. Maybe fetching and dazing. Who knows? Resolving is good. They milled Polluted Delta, which means that they're probably not strapped for lands. Cantrip's really good for me. No, stop. What's happening here? Come on, just like cast your cantrip and say go. Please. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to see. That's the opposite of what I wanted to see. Okay, never mind. That's kind of fine. 4 cards in hand. They have Braid the Thalia, which makes me feel like they don't have Show and Tell. Or maybe possible they don't have like the payoff for Show and Tell. But in this position, I think I want Wasteland plus Stoneforge for Formalware. But that makes it awkward because I can't hold up Reb. But I feel like this is a sneak attack game. So Wasteland, Ancient Tomb plus Stoneforge for Formalware seems pretty valuable to me. We also have Flickerwist to make Formalware better. Like, we could hold up Reb here, but I don't think I can afford to hold up Reb all game. Gotta pick your spots to tap out. I would love to use this ability and find pre-war Formalware. Oh no. Yeah, that's unfortunate. No Skyclaves, no Lorons. I guess we just have to hope that the sneak attack doesn't do anything. They just don't have the payoff, which means I think we Formalware back Thalia right now to restrict like cantrip usage. But I feel like we're just going to die here. Yeah. Seemed fairly likely. Maybe this Atraxa just totally misses. I mean, I guess that's the one ring, which means we're probably fucking dead. It didn't hit Emrakul. Certainly hit a lot of other stuff. Show and Tell Omniscience could be beat. We'll Play on. Island, Simian Spirit Guide, Brainstorm, The One Ring, Show and Tell Omniscience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, Show and Tell Omniscience. They played Ancient Tomb. Okay, so we know 6 of the 7 cards in their hand. This One Ring is going to be hard to beat, especially when they're at 24. I think their best bet is honestly just use Simian Spirit Guide, cast the One Ring here. Hit me for 7, and then I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm casting 4 mana Show and Tell? No. Oh, they're just like digging for Emrakul, I guess. Just try to end the game now. Yeah, fair enough. Alright. Game 3 time. Yeah, seems fine. Got a little bit more information about what the opponent has in there. The One Ring. Was there another card that I saw that was weird? I don't think so. Confirmed Omniscience, but it's like fairly expected. Multiple Ancient Tombs. Pyroclasm is a notable one. We'll just hit submit again. Hope for a good classic deity, Mana Denial Thalia. Alright. Mana Denial Thalia, Red Elemental Blast is a good one. Ooh. I'm going to bottom that. I have double Thalia, or whatever, graveyard it. It's a nice one, because it definitely adds more pressure to the board. But with the second Thalia already, I think we'd rather dig for, like, Skyclaves, Flutes, more Rebs, answers to sneak attack, stuff like that. Oh god, are we just, like, getting turn 1 because I didn't hold up Reb? I hate it when this happens. Maybe with 4 lands I was supposed to play Flooded Strand to play around this. Kind of just autopiloted to play my tap land. It's the best way to win this. If it's Omniscience, no creature, Thalia is the best. If it's Omniscience creature, we just lose, because they just cast Emrakul before we can rev it. So I think it's just put in Thalia here, and hope it's Omniscience plus, like, cantrips or One Rings or whatever, and we can untap and cast 2 mana Red Elemental Blast on it. Alright, fair enough. Damn, I think we could have beat that if I just played my fetch land instead, huh? Something that I didn't really think about. Just, like, totally went on autopilot. What do I have tapped? I have 4 lands in my hand. If I just play Flooded Strand and then my opponent goes, you know, land go or whatever, then I fetch the second Elegant Parlor next turn. I play my land, cast Thalia. The next turn I have Wasteland plus Hold Up Reb. The next turn, like, I have tap land still. I think it's gotta be right to play the Flooded Strand there. That was dumb. Fuck. Damn. That was stupid, huh? Oh well. Happens to the best of us. Alright, we got a decent chunk of time here. Fumbled that game. So I had a thought that I was like... Did I not have it on... Did I have it on my main account? Maybe. What would I have even called it? God. This is what I get from never deleting and also never naming my things anything reasonable. If you're going to cast Thoughtseize on turn 1, you should probably hold up Red Blast on turn 1. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Like we were talking about in game 2, you're gonna, like, we have a tap land in our hand specifically. And we're talking about in game 2. We're gonna, it's not very common that they're going to turn 1 you, and we're gonna be holding up that Rev on, like, subsequent turns after we cast Thalia, and we're going to turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Wasteland, hold up Rev is probably the avenue. But given all of that, and given the fact that we have these other lands in our hand, it's probably correct too. But if my hand was like, let's say, I'm trying to think of an example that actually that actually mattered. Like if we have exactly 2 lands, we're never supposed to hold up Rev there, right? If it's just like Elegant Parlor plus fetch land as our only 2 mana sources, we're absolutely supposed to play the tap land to cast the turn 2 Thalia rather than like hold up Reb into tap land, continue hold up Reb into cast Thalia, put shields down on Reb or something. It's very clunky, but given the context of our hand, that definitely just felt like a straight up misplay. Yeah, like I was already coming up with my excuses before the match even started about like I don't play my warm up match, and you know you play a little sloppy in your first match of the day. Exactly what happens sometimes. Did I really not? I could have sworn I played this on the Daybreak account instead. Was this what it was? Maybe I did actually. Oh no. Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to make a Stompy deck with pre-war Formalware work. Because I think pre-war Formalware is just like a really nuts magic card if you're getting back 3 drops with it. And the best way to play 3 drops is to play Ancient Tomb. Everything about Legacy is that it's changed a bit, but it's still mostly the same. Even if they haven't played 2017. Yeah, D&T versus Sneak and Show. Like a time. I've been playing that matchup for like over a decade. Both decks have changed remarkably since then, but you know. Hey, Giant GT, can you get off my screen, please? Thank you. And then, like, I couldn't fit in all the cards I wanted, and then you're, like, missing activators for Overlord, Blasphelia, so I was like, what if we just turn this into a Yorion deck? Classic Yorion Stompy strategy. And just feed the brain worm since we don't have anything else to do between rounds anyway. And play some, like, bad brew. Flicker Stompy, play Yorion. Actually get to like max out on all the cards I want to play in the main deck here. Sideboard Yorion, play all the Overlords, play all the Guide of Souls. Overlord. Oh, because I opened a new copy of the deck. One of the problems I have with deck building like this is that I'm adding a bunch of like white artifacts, which is sometimes not exciting in your Chrome Mox deck. So I have to figure out how many lands I'm going to play in this deck. Probably like 30 something. Felia. Third formal or main deck. Ranger Captain, also not a combo with the card Ancient Tomb, but we're also a Yorion deck at this point, so we're like less an Ancient Tomb deck. We just have like a little chunk of fast mana. I do like Ranger Captain, theoretically, in your like Ocelot Pride Guide of Souls deck, but maybe it's bad. But I wanted to like add more flickers. I wanted like potent 3-drops, especially like once you get back with Formalware and stuff that synergizes with the rest of the deck, because I wanted to be like playing like Felia Overlord, because Felia Formalware is really good. Just gonna add 4 of all the cards for now, and I'm like getting punished by watching you put Ancient Tomb into a Yorion. Look, yes, you are late. You could have been there to tell me to play my fetch land instead of my tap land versus Sneak and Show, and not getting turn 1 Show and Telled when I have Red Elemental Blast in my hand. Am I supposed to play a Lion Sash in this deck at this point? Razor Grass Ambush is the other MDFC. I don't know how many MDFCs you're supposed to play in this deck. Why do I keep just not typing a letter? Does Razor Grass have like a hyphen? I literally double mistyped a letter. What the hell is going on with me today? Just fully. There we go. We did it. Let's play like probably 3. This is a Felia Yorion deck, and D&D plays 4 Karakas. Maybe you're supposed to play like 3 Karakas or something. Formalware, GT. Probably supposed to play a Sash at this point. Whoops. I wouldn't have been able to save you from that because this. Oh yeah, you're rip your power. Oh wait, I already have a Sash. It's just in the sideboard. It was a foolish decision, such as life. Hope your power situation improves. What else do we play here? We can just add some Thalia in for a good measure. Call it a day. It's enough Felia bit hits. We just have Stoneforge, Ranger Captain, Solitude Overlord, Guide of Souls, kind of. Maybe not. Let's play cool Thalias. Why not? They're here. We're just trying to fix death and taxes for the mono white players, really. I'm doing them a service. Am I allowed to play Clarion Conqueror in this deck? Turns off Ranger Captain, turns off putting in Caldra, turns off equipping Jite. I think you're allowed to play sideboard Clarion Conqueror. Conqueror? This one, I don't actually know how to spell Conqueror? Yeah, we did it. Let's play the fucking sick-ass art. Deck's gotta be just a tragic, classically horrible Delver matchup that's unfixable. We should probably not be playing these Jackrabbits anymore. Jackrabbit is a surprisingly, I think it is an underutilized card. Maybe it's appropriately utilized given the power level of every white Stompy deck I've ever built. But it does like have a lot of good synergy, like nuts with Guide of Souls for multiple reasons. Really good with Formalware. I guess that's the end of the list. Good with GTA, I guess. But, like, people put, like, a Johnny in this slot, but I hate a Johnny in these decks that have no way to, like, have red cards. It's obviously Johnny would look better with Felia, but I don't know. We'll just try stuff. If I want second Clarion Conqueror, what am I cut? cutting. Kind of want Skyclaves because the Delver matchup does not actually seem good. Cut a Deafening Silence for a 3-drop and move on with my life. Alright. How much time we got? Plenty of time. 16 matches remaining. Easy. Let's play this pile of shit, huh? Sometimes you just really need to work out the brain worms, though. I keep thinking, like, I feel like Formal Wear is a very nuts magic card, especially if you put it in a deck that's, like, consistently getting back, like, big statted 3-drops, like a Stompy deck. So, like, theoretically, you put Stoneforge in your deck, and, like, maybe I'm doing too many other cute things. We don't have any Aether Vials in this deck. Sorry to disappoint, Aether Vial. So that might make the deck worse. But, like, Formal Wear back 3-drops does seem pretty bananas in general. Turn 1, Pride. Turn 2, Suspend Overlord. Something like that. Seems fine. Probably not supposed to be on 8 MDFCs, but who knows? Feels like a combo deck. This is giving combo vibes. We got a lot of good draws. Not really one of them, but we'll do our thing. Probably just have to slam, get some pressure on, take some draw steps, get my Overlord dazed, cry. Yeah. Thought about even just adding Yorion to my hand. Can you make your own deck list on MTGO by posting a deck list, or do they not have every card? Can you elaborate? What do you mean by posting a deck list? Can you make your own deck? They have almost every card. There are some notable exceptions, but... Classic 4/5 no value Yorion. Perfect deck building. Doomsday? Oh. Stoneforge for... Am I supposed to just, like, assume Reanimator here? And just grab Lion Sash? I make most of my decks on Architect. If I copy the deck list via text document, post it into the deck builder, would that work? Yes. There's like import via text options. It'll say if a card like doesn't work, if like a name doesn't work, if, like this card doesn't exist or whatever, and it'll import most of it. They have basically every card on MTGO. Some fair exceptions. I'm getting Doomsday vibes, but I think the best play for me regardless is like not cast Yorion here anyway. And just cast Stoneforge, Sash, hold up white mana, hope that it's like a weird Reanimator start. I guess I should attack first into like Bowmaster. Attacking's like always kind of fine. They kill off my cat tokens or whatever, but don't really care. If they Bowmaster me and they're just like blue-black tempo, then I guess maybe we Stoneforge for, yeah. We Stoneforge for Formalware, and Formalware back the Pride. Unfortunately, we don't actually gain any life. Would be nice, but... One, two, three, four, five, 6 mana, so we can Stoneforge for more play around days with Karakas still. Force of Will? No. Cool. Lost in round 1 and 3 to Doomsday hit when your opponents make you wait for more than a minute just to play the winning counter spell with perfect defense to carry out. Oh god, yeah. Doomsday exceptionally miserable of just like the waiting. There are also like a few chronic double cures out there, triple cures. Alright. Assuming this is just blue-black tempo, then I feel pretty good about my position. 3-3 Ocelot Pride pretty good. We have Yorion to flicker the Formalware if they, like, cast a Fatal Push or whatever on it. This is a kind of annoying 3-4. Because I can't attack. I could, like, attack and gain 3 to try to, like, flicker Formalware, but then if my opponent has Force of Will for my Yorion, it gets pretty bad for me. Could just wait here. All my Yorion does is flicker Stoneforge right now. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could actually have Felia. I could Yorion and still hold up Felia here, right? No, because of these ancient tombs. I can Yorion and Felia, but I can't also hold up Karakas during all that. Because I'd have to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or float a mana. I guess I could just sorcery speed the Felia, tap both ancient tombs. Then I go to 11 though. Oh, the spell on the stack for a minute, and then clicked on the... Oh, yeah, I feel you. Might be double queuing, might just be doing other things, but yeah, it's real annoying when you just have to sit around and wait to die. I think I just Yorion here, and if my opponent counters Yorion, we maybe cast Felia using the Karakas, or maybe we just untap and wait. Maybe that's wrong. What is Felia doing here? Felia, like, lets me attack with Flicker the Nethergoyf, and just send with Ocelot Pride, which is pretty good. Maybe we just wait here a turn. I feel like there was Force of Will. My opponent paused for a while on that Formalware cast. I'm not under any pressure. I think we're just waiting. I feel fairly confident that I'm favored here. What am I getting with Stoneforge if I flicker it right now? I guess Jite would be pretty nice. Cauldra would be okay. We could equip the Cauldra to the Ocelot Pride. Have enough mana for it. It'd be nicer if we could just flicker like the Formalware and do something with it. I think I'll just wait. Maybe I'm being too passive. Brainstorm. I am a tiny bit worried about Murktide Regent. But we could like flicker it back down to a 3-3, which is nice, and it would potentially shrink the Nethergoyf. So like if they just like untap and cast Murktide, depending on how much they fill their yard, we might have a good attack with Felia. It's really unfortunate that white doesn't have a removal equipment. This deck really wants your Stoneforge to be able to kill things. But the fact that there's no Phantom Blade or Chainsaw or even Assimilation Aegis shaped card is really unfortunate for mono white. That would be honestly a pretty big boon to mono white, is if we got some sort of removal spell equipment. Oh no, my Caracas. It's kind of hurtful. That's kind of hurtful. $15. I'll block the Netherglyph with the cat token, I think. Now they need 2 answers, though, because this Felia is going to cook them. And the Yorion's going to cook them. I feel like they have Force for Yorion here, because Force is going to absolutely obliterate them. Or, like, Yorion would absolutely obliterate them here, so... I feel like mono white banishing light equipment is when and not if. Yeah, certainly. Assimilation Aegis already exists. It's like the same thing, but it has like the blue effect of like copying the thing that it exiles. So it makes a lot of sense. Opponent staring at their Force of Will and blue card going, oh shit, they still have Yorion. I just have to let this through. Combat. Removal spell. We also drew second Felia, which is pretty fucked up. If they have removal. Petty theft. Do I just have to slam Yorion right now? If the last 2 cards are Force blue card, we go to 13. It's not even that bad. But then our hand is Felia, which is pretty bad. If they have Force blue card as last 2 cards, we just have nothing. I could, like, equip Formalware to Stoneforge and hold up a Felia cast. Because if they just, like, force blue card, and then all I have is double Felia, and then they can cast the Brazen Borrower, we go to 13, the Netherglyph attacks us down to 10, then all we have is Felias, and we get attacked by this Brazen Borrower. This is really awkward here. Definitely not attacking. Am I winning if I just cast Felia again, though? Feels a little slow. I think I'm kind of pressured into casting Yorion here. Maybe this is stupid. Yeah, force blue card. Oh, pitch Stifle. I guess it's kind of a good thing. We could have definitely got blown up by that. Why did they Brazen Bar? Why didn't they just use Stifle to, like, kill my thing forever? I feel like people don't know how Stifle works against, like, Yorion and Felia. One card. Play Big Jacked Rabbit. Can make so many 1/1s and then die to Brazen Borrower. Play a 2/3 Jacked Rabbit and a Sorcery Speed of Felia here. Go to 8, going to 5 off Brazen Borrower. We need an answer. I guess we don't necessarily need an answer to the Borrower, because we'll hopefully Felia back Formalware. draw a card with... Oh no, drawing a card is probably really stupid with Bowmaster in play anyway. We go to 8, we go to 5, ideally we attack, flicker this, we go to 2, but then we have Lifelinking Ocelot Pride at that point. Can I don't think I can afford to... Oh shit, round 2 of the Legacy Supers already started, really? Alright, well, GG's. Let's concede game and also match. I'm not gonna fucking... How do I concede? Can I just... No, I can't close this, right? This is... No, this is a different window, yeah. Concede match. You can have that one on the house. The deck... I mean, obviously, like, double Ancient Tomb sequencing versus tempo is really awkward, but... was feeling like I had a pretty reasonable tempo matchup, all things considered. Oh, God. Search my opponent's deck list, oops all spells, and World Gorger Dragon combo. Well, this is the 0-1 bracket, huh? Hopefully they're on World Gorger Dragon combo. I mean, I guess I'll keep this and die. My opponent kept 7. I kind of have to cast Aether Vial and not hold up Plow on turn 1, too. My opponent kept 7. We are just dead. I think I'm gonna bottom Skyclave on the off chance that they kept 7 that doesn't somehow kill me. We want to, like, kill them down the road. I guess we should probably actually bottom this Mother of Friends, huh? It just doesn't do shit against them. I am really tempted to hold up Plow on turn 1 and hope that that's good enough, but I can't imagine it is. I'll just accept my game 1 loss against the Reanimator deck. Tap land. Chance. Mill World Gorger Dragon. Shit. Cast Entomb. Say go. Cool. Take my Swords of Plowshares. Cool. Can't even top deck Thalia because we have a 1-lander. Draw, like, Crocus? Thoughtseize Bug, alright. Not the end of the world, but Atraxa's kinda gonna fucking beat my ass, huh? Anime dead, targeting Atraxa, you got it. 10 lands. Entomb and Reanimate spell, you say? Seems pretty bad for me. Chooses Reanimate, Grizzlebrand, Dance the Dead, Entomb. Oh, and they get to discard the Grizzlebrand to hand size. Great. I guess we just leave the Atraxa in play to try to beat plow the Grizzlebrand. They just gain so much life. Maybe that was stupid. Need to, like... I mean, we're losing this game. I don't really think we have a good line here. Other than they, like, draw down to dead with Grizzlebrand, don't Thoughtseize my Bombardiers. Yeah. Even like Besage my Aether Vial so I can't get to Broadside unless I draw a land. If like that's the line they choose of the infinite ways I can die this turn. Sure. You like World Gorger me? I guess that's like guaranteed kill. Where, because they have the Dance of the Dead, whereas Crystal Brand is like only 99% to kill. World Gorger will give them infinite mana and infinite surveils to eventually put an Engine Rat, it looks like, as their win con. Well, if I just had Solitude, though, don't you just get absolutely annihilated? Okay, fair enough. Okay, they just went for Crystal Brand anyway. Alright, miss completely on any Unmasks or Lotus Petals. Damn. Alright, we can top deck another Broadside Bombardier. Alright, deck. I don't ask for a lot. Does Broadside even kill here? Probably not, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's only like 6 damage. Never mind. I don't have a good plan. Yeah, that's definitely not the plan. Recruit Containment Priest. My main deck Containment Priest would go pretty nice here. Lion Sash with more mana would go pretty nicely here. A lot of things that could do small things. I'm just gonna cast Thalia and hope my opponent doesn't deterministically kill me with deterministic kill in play, and then I'm literally hellbent. All they have to do is cast a 3 mana Dance of the Dead, make infinite mana, Engine Rats me or whatever. I'm not gonna make them do it. Like, I'm not gonna make them go through the whole thing, so I don't want to fucking sit here. I'm just gonna watch this all happen. Yeah, my opponent looks pretty seasoned in the art of world gorging pretty fast. Yeah, alright, they got it. They can have that one. Alright, board in all these things. We played against, not World Gorger, but like Red-Black Reanimator or like Green-Black Reanimator that always sideboarded into Witherbloom. We talked about Disruptor Flute potentially being playable. I think after we cut this, and then we opted to leave in the Skyclaves after getting Witherbloom to game 2, I think. Then we talked about cutting Chainsaw or not as well. We are already just 1 card away, though. This looks fairly solid. I guess 3 cards away if we want to board in Disruptor Flute. It might just be the Chainsaw. I just don't think that Stoneforge for Chainsaw to kill Witherbloom Apprentice is something that's likely to come up in our deck of like 4 Solitude, 4 Plow, 3 Skyclave, 4 Bombardiers. So many ways to clear a Witherbloom Apprentice. And it's not very feasible. Like, it is nice that unlike Skyclave Broadside Bombarders, you could technically instant speed this chainsaw by using Stoneforge Mystic in order to like break up the combo that happens in one turn, but feels fairly unfeasible. I think on the play also, I mean, we'll think about Disruptor Flute if we're on the draw for game, if we get to a game 3, where we're on the draw. Ugh. With 2 lands, I might have kept this hand, but on 1 land, I'm much happier mulliganing for a leyline hand. This hand is unfortunate, huh? My opponent mulls to 6. Do I just have to keep this hand? Hope that I don't get turn 1 on their mull to 6? It's really good against the Witherbloom Juke, so I think I'm going to keep this and bottom of Broadside. It's good against a lot. It's good against, like... Trying not to jinx it by talking about what it's not good against, but surely my opponent won't have it. Surely my opponent just goes for turn 1 Witherbloom or just passes the turn. Either one would be acceptable. Unmask me. Sure. We're double insulated versus Witherbloom specifically, at least. If their hand is, you know, the nut, then nothing we can do about it. Yeah, it takes Thalia, makes sense. It's okay, there's another Thalia on the top of our deck. Or, like, Containment Priest, actually. Stoneforge for Sash? Stoneforge for Sash is Graveyard Hate in, like, so many turns from now, because we'd also have to top deck the 3rd land, specifically. But given that ley lines are off the table as draws, I think this is better than the average draw. We only have 2 lands in our hand, so, like, what else are we digging for? Exactly, Containment Priest or Sash. Recruiter's off the table. Thalia. It'd be, like, the other 3 Thalias, or, Sash or Containment Priest, I think are, like, our only, like, really good draws at this point. So I think we do just have to keep this and hope that there is a land underneath it for the Sash. Let's just fetch a Surveil land. Okay, thank God. Okay, good. Not Entomb this time. It's a really unfortunate game 1. Oh, we did it. Triple land. Trial land is really good. So they did show us a Boseiju. I imagine there's very limited on interaction, but that is one of the ways they can break this up. So I think I'm going to sacrifice the 1 damage here by holding up Sash. But I will put it in next turn. Or, like, put it in on their end step here. They mill Boseiju? That is a... That's gotta be the fucking word. Wait, Boseiju can hit creatures, right? Yeah, targeted artifact enchantment or not basically, and it can hit artifact creatures. That's gotta be fucking disastrous for me. What does that mean? What on earth does mill my Boseiju mean when they know the exact context, like, just my entire hand? It means that they have second Boseiju? Sure. I mean, I can't not do this. I'm pretty sure it can hit artifact creatures. Yeah, it's like it might that can't hit artifact creatures. So, like, I have to imagine that it's really bad news for me specifically. 4 versus 4 cards in hand. I'm just thinking about playing Broadside Bombardiers versus not. I do feel a little bit uncomfortable that we only have single shield up. There's like an argument for putting Yorion in my hand, so I have Solitude plus Plow up if they have like Thoughtseize plus Witherbloom combo. We could just like add Yorion to hand this turn and just send it for 3, hold up the activation, plus have Solitude and Plow. I think that might honestly be the play. We do need to kill them fast, but I also need to not die to discard spell. They know my whole hand. Don't need to like hold up anything weird. Don't know what their deck is. I don't know. Don't play around. I don't know. Elegant Parlor getting wastelanded. This is Beseju. Yeah. Oh, wear down. Okay. So yeah, the mill is because they had an additional thing. So we don't need anything because we want to hold up Plow here. It's possible maybe we wanted to deal more damage given... The most likely thing is that they had answer to Sash, and maybe we just wanted to, like, shove as much damage as possible. Slam Yorion, Flicker, Stoneforge, go get 4 more for Sash. Bombardier is 3 damage, put them to 12, sack this, put them to 8. Which is not great. We could Bombardier plus Solitude. How much is that? 3, put them to 12, plus 7, put them to 5. That's nothing. I think I'm gonna Yorion. Did I just get Cauldron there to kill them? Did I... Casting Bombardiers is safer versus... Yeah, Thoughtseize plus, like, World Gorger or something. I mean, they know my whole hand. They can take whatever they want here. Take Solitude, go off. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to Bombardiers to play around World Gorger better, hold up the double shields. Reveal Dance the Dead World Gorger. Wait, this doesn't kill, does it? This just gets a different creature into play? Because they can't make mana? They can only mill their deck? Unless they have a Thoracle in here. I guess I'll let this happen and see what they... Maybe they just mill until they hit like an Atraxa or something here. According to their last deck list, which... Their last deck list just had Engine Rat as the kill condition. Genuinely don't know what that... I mean, I'll let them do their thing. They got me, they got me. All they can do is put a fatty since they're generating mana. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So what's the best? They like mill until they hit Archon, maybe? But we can beat that. All they do is draw a card after that. Four, 5, plus 7. We actually don't have lethal if they put an Archon. I wonder if they like didn't board in the Witherbloom stuff. Hats off to them if they didn't, because I feel like every single Witherbloom player boards it in against D&T, and it feels very wrong to me. So I always assume that my opponent's doing it because everyone loves to do it. But I do think that like you don't always have to board in your sideboard juke if your plan A is especially better. Grizzlebrand lets them draw 7, but with just 7 cards, we have a lot of ways to just kill them at that point, and they don't have a lot of ways to like go off. Hey, are we winning? I don't think we're losing this game, but I'm not confident. It's possible my World Gorger opponent has a Thassa's Oracle or something. All right, here we go. Let's see if they decide to put this Grizzlebrand in play or keep milling. I guess Atraxa would just be better than Grizzlebrand, so they'll just keep milling regardless, probably. Oh, nope, they're putting cards on top. We're stopping here at Grizzlebrand? No. Wait, they put cards on top, though. What? Are they now choosing Grizzlebrand? There we go. Keep milling until you find a card you want for the Grizzlebrand. Okay, yeah, I get it. It's not BM. They don't have guaranteed kill, but they can keep flickering World Gorge until they find a card that they want to keep on top, then hit Grizzlebrand and then draw it, and then Surveil 2. So they get Surveil 1, draw 7, Surveil 2 to try to kill me here. Oh, fuck, really? Okay, sure. Now this is lethal, because now they have infinite mana. Assuming that the Engine Rat's in the last 11 cards. Oh no, they have 2, so they can infinitely put in Archon of Cruelty now. Yeah, alright. I know, I'm not carrying the torch, Jamie. We're 0-2 in this, super... Why is this still in play? Oh, the Grizzlebrand flickers too, yeah. Alright, yeah. Egg on my face, I played really badly in both those matches. Ugh, I don't know what my deal is today. O2 is live. O2 is live for the drop from event button, I think you mean. It's like not live at all for top 8. There are 204 players, which means we're like almost max capacity 8-rounder. There's actual 0% chance. O2's live for prizes if I win the next 6 rounds, but yeah, it's not what my life's about. We'll call it quits. Lacking energy? No, I'm not lacking energy because we're playing energy. Right. We'll play a couple more matches with this nonsense deck, huh? Since we swiftly got eliminated in the challenge. Or the super? Whatever. I'm playing some nonsense Yorion mono white deck that's probably very bad. But we have energy. Don't worry. I got you covered. We don't have any cats. Oh, no, we do have one. Alsop probably has a cat. But no, we're not a Johnny. What the fuck is that? Cards. Legacy legal cards, even. I keep wanting to make, like, a mono-white Felia Overlord, blah, blah, blah deck. I'm just getting some brainworms out. Oh my god, opponent's getting the brainworms out. Let's go. Holy shit. Alright. Fucking Obosh. You got it, boss. Opponent is cooking. Cast Sash on turn 1, maybe? Just play tapped Razorgrass Ambush? No, play tapped Witch Enchanter. I mean, at least our Lion Sash can't get Orcish Bowmastered, huh? Am I gonna get Blood Mooned? I guess those cards do make sense together. Chromox, because I think I want to hold up Crocus, although we actually don't have anything to formal wear back, so maybe we just play the Felia fully exposed. So if it gets killed, we can formal wear it. Why do you keep playing this Razorgrass Ambush card? Because you wanted to just play MDFCs, it's the second best one. What, Island? My opponent's playing Grixis Obosh? What's happening? Force Pitch Intuition? Oh god. I don't know what's going on. Am I gonna get fucking demigodded? I guess it's probably better to play this as a land, huh? Because then I could always pitch a card to Chromox later to hit land 4. Oh well. Oh shit, maybe I just said demigodded and then I don't play the Graveyard Hate card in my hand. Just totally tunnel visioned on. Okay, they just have second Force Will, pitching Borrower, sure, whatever. The fuck is going on? What is my opponent doing? Alright, Lion Sash. You got this, buddy. What's the text on Demigod? How does this thing work? If lightning... Alright, sure. Actually, we probably want to hold up, like, Plow. It's not really worth eating one card out of their graveyard. Cast your Intuition for 3 Demigods of Revenge? That's gotta be what's happening, right? I don't know what I need to read the card Demigod of Revenge again to be sure. Oh god, what the hell? When you cast... Oh, you have to cast one with your Ancient Tomb. But I guess the Ox lets you discard it. But then... How do you... What? 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 I guess I give them the Demigod? Put the Ox... They need 8 cards in their graveyard? Yeah, put the Demigod in their hand, I guess? Just does not look castable. They gonna fucking Urborg me? What is happening? What the fuck is opponent cooking? I guess I should have eaten that Forceful with the Lion Sash, huh? Didn't play around Ox of Agonis. Yeah, you got it. Obosh in hand. Deal. So their hand is Demigod, Obosh, Unknown, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Surveil to 7 cards to flashback Ox. Just wondering if I need to hold up Plow here. I think I do. Putting Yorion in my hand isn't bad either, because if we draw another land, then we can suspend Overlord, and then have the Yorion for the Overlord. Fucking commander battle over here, huh? Probably shouldn't have put Obosh in your hand if your plan was just cast this Ox, which feels like it's the only plan. I guess I'm supposed to board in ley lines versus this deck, huh? They're not casting this Demigod anytime soon. Let's suspend our Overlord. These things have haste? They do, okay. Maybe I was supposed to Wasteland? Probably not. I think I need to kill them. Oh, I guess Wasteland does cut them off of double red for Ox, but it also could give them the extra card in their graveyard for Ox, so... Yorion flickering Overlord of the Mistmoors is really all I wanted to do. Yeah, I honestly don't give a shit. Yorion can die. I'd rather hold up a Plow and have infinity power in play. They need one more card for Ox of Agonis. They have like, I don't understand this deck's plan. Casting that card does not seem feasible. What, kitty? What? Do I want Mindbreak Trap? This doesn't look like a deck that's... Maybe they have, like, Dark Rituals, maybe? We didn't even see a black source. They could just be blue-red. Seems fairly likely. I just don't understand how they're ever casting Arc... whatever that guy's called. Demigod of whatever. Honestly, like, even flute? I'm so perplexed. Alright, get this out of here. I have to imagine I want ley lines. It's all like Bolt, Borrower? Maybe they have like DRC in the deck? Feels like a matchup I'm always going for like Sash or Formal Wear, so we could afford to cut the Cauldra potentially. Yes, we cut these guys, huh? Maybe we just shave one Formal Wear instead. Call it like that, just boarded 4 ley lines. I don't like boarding a ley line in a matchup that I don't think I'm really locked into mulling for them. This is certainly not a matchup that I'm interested in hard mulling for my ley lines. Oh, well, easy. Just have the perfect hand. Do I play other formats? Not really. I am largely a Legacy one-trick. Gotta be wary of getting borrowed this turn if they just go land go, I guess. But, I mean, we'll just always cast Thalia here. Borrow in response? No. Alright. Bolt, kill Thalia. Sure. Heat. With Archon next turn, or Felia. Sure, why not? It's a good card. Legal to play in your Obosh deck. Seems valid. Slam Archon. Yeah, these are the kind of hands that I'm worried about with Felia. Just not having enough enablers. Do I want to wasteland my opponent? I feel like I don't. Opponents just hit a million land drops. Surely they'll run out of bolts eventually. I guess not. This is where we draw our Cauldra and wish that I had actually kept the other Formal Wear in my deck. Are we just gonna... You can't even hardcast the Demigod! You have a basic island! add Obosh to hand? Magus to the Moon. That's like kind of annoying. I guess I'll plow that. Will I? Yeah, I will. Sure. Yeah, don't really care that much. If that gets a force out of their hands deal, we can definitely beat a Magus. One card left in hand. Sash is a lot less efficient, so let's just hold up Felia. We could even potentially, like, if they eventually put Obosh into play, we can, like, attack with the Felia, flicker out the Magus, and then Crocus the Obosh. Or even just to get white sources, like this turn, we maybe flicker out the Magus, cast Sash. Add Obosh to hand, you got it. I think I might just want to flicker my Sash, honestly, versus 3 cards in hand. Just, like, start pumping up the Felia. Just add Yorion to my hand this turn. Just do this. I could, like, play out the Mox and flicker that instead, maybe. But... play Obosh, hit me for 4. We attack, flicker the Magus, Crocus the Obosh. Because it's not great for me. I guess we attack for a decent chunk of damage. We can also wasteland them if we want. Out of ability to continue casting Obosh. We can't cast Yorion. Fable, that's a good card. Archon's nice. So we attack both, kill the Goblin Shaman. I'm gonna eat one of my own Archons. Just to push damage. Go get him, Archon of Emeria. I believe in you. Alright. I can just safely F6 here. What are we discarding? Discard Seething Song? I guess that's other casting. Are we gonna 5 mana 5-4 me? No, we're just Oboshing, sure. Hey, kitty. I think we almost have lethal here. 5, bounce, 6, 7. Yeah, not quite lethal, but good enough. Hello, Mr. UC. I am moisturized. I don't know if I would say that I'm thriving. We got bullied pretty hard out of the super, but it's fine, because I didn't want to qualify for an RC on accident again. Now we're testing some real shit piles. I guess we just... Why would you bolt the... Oh, they fucked up. They didn't see the line, I guess. We are at a little risk here. We might be able to set up lethal, though, with Archon. Put them to 7 here. Maybe even put them to 6 and Chromox pitch Yorion. Does this set up lethal? If we put them to 6 with Sash, then cast Archon, then we have Sash with 3 counters. We can equip it to the Archon and attack for lethal, and their Magus locks them out of double blue for Brazen Borrower. So we just eat that. Eat that. Hit them for 4. Chromox, pitch the Yorion. It's not something you really get to do. Kind of a cool use. Maybe cool is the wrong word. Intended to play it and slept it instead. I mean, that's valid. It's pretty early for Central Time even. West Coast is probably just totally unfeasible. Tapped Ancient Tomb. Cool. Recast Obosh. And then you're dead. Yep. There is, in fact, 1 permanent left in the graveyard. I almost didn't consider that. Yeah, we did it. Alright, our deck may be a little bit, bad, but I don't think... Our opponent was definitely cooking something. Yeah, 7 a.m. on Saturday is pretty rough. Gonna be real important. That's probably gonna be one of the worst things for me if I end up actually managing to move to Seattle. Which, fingers crossed, I should be hearing back from an interview next week or the week after. And finally get into St. Louis. But then all the Moto events being like way earlier does kind of suck. Fucking like 8 a.m. Sunday challenge instead of 10. I love being able to like get up, exercise, get on the bike, eat a nice breakfast, and then sit down and like play my tournament. But 8 a.m. is just so much more rough for that sequence. I'm looking for there was a big gap in like my plans to move, and then there was like a bunch of stuff that happened with Boeing that really put my move plans on hold, but now the job market's opening back up a little bit. So I'm hoping that this one works out. Alright, I don't know how much longer I'm going to play this. I'm just like, I don't have anything to do anymore. I'll play this deck a few more matches, maybe iron out some kinks. 10 a.m. vintage challenges on Saturday? I'm not a big vintage gamer. I'm a lowly legacy one trick. Wasteland Go, huh? We're gonna like cycle something that isn't a troll? Gonna cycle a generous ent? No, we're just protecting our 1 mana source. Oh, no, we're doing something. Oh, I should probably put in the title that we're totally dead in the super, huh? Dead in Legacy Super, playing bad meme deck in League, frowny face. Yes, we got crushed heartily in the Super, unfortunately. What is this? What's going on here? Am I, like, not thinking about it at Wasteland? Or, lands, I guess? We just slam Archon? This seems pretty good. Inhibits my opponent's ability to make constructs, among other benefits. Not lands. Standstill? What is this league? What's happening? Now they have they have a basic that they can make their Urza Saga construct. Unreal. I don't know what the fuck. What is? Opponent's cooking something. Like Plow Wasteland me? That'd be kind of fine. We still have Stoneforge. Ooh, I can Witch Enchanter the Urza Saga. That's pretty enticing, huh? I don't know what they're doing over there, but blowing up their land seems pretty nice. This Ancient Tomb card's pretty good when you don't play against tempo decks, huh? Just like free mana. Imagine casting your 3-drop on turn 2 and your 4-drop on turn 3 in Death and Taxes. Ding. Gonna make your 1/1. Yep. Alright. We maybe get Wastelanded next turn, but then they're down even more lands and we can cast our spells still. Tapped Urza Saga. Alright. Gonna jump Guide, I guess. Oh, it's the nicer basic. What are these? I think it like just auto-filled like Tarkir basics or something. On my Daybreak account, I very rarely actually take the time to select my basic lands. I think I just Stoneforge for Cauldra. Hold up a Plow, because I'm probably just going to plow this Construct token. I'll take 2 damage because I don't really care that much. Cast this pre-combat for my Guide of Souls. What? I still don't know what my opponent's deck is. Opponent does have some pretty sicko basics, though, huh? I can't cast any more spells, so... Yes, I guess we jump the Guide itself? Maybe we jump the Witch Enchanter? There's nothing we can do to flicker this. I guess we could... We have Yorion, and we have the ability to draw Felia, so... Yeah. This would not be an opportune moment to cast Haze. My opponent could... If they have basic Island Standstill, I'm all for it. You go, opponent. I have to imagine the Wasteland Urza Saga Timeless Dragon deck is a Standstill deck, but maybe it's just like a weird mono-white prison-y deck? Sure, yep, that one resolves. Name whatever the fuck... I don't know what's happening anymore. This league is... something. Oh yeah, name Stoneforge, that makes sense. You got it, Chief. Source to Plowshares this. Just so they can't, like, activate the Saga in response and gain an extra life. I'm notably missing damage now. Because I can't, like, attack into... I guess I'm going to send into the Witch Enchanter if they want to trade. Touch the Spirit. Yep, why not? Not a very good Formal War matchup, I'll tell you that. I'm going to put Yorion in my hand. I could cast it next turn with this Chrome... I should play the Chrome Mox to play around my Archon Ephemeria, huh? My only pitchable is the Swords to Plowshares. Classic mono-white artifacts. I think it's fine to pitch the Swords to Plowshares. I don't know what's happening, but... Is it weird mono-white blink initiative stuff? With Saga? Possibly. I'm going to cast my Lion Sash No, I can't. I'm casting the Chrome Mox. Okay. I'm going to cast my Chrome Mox as my one spell. Pitch this Swords to Plowshares as my one non-artifact white card. And add this Yorion in my hand. I guess we might get Wastelanded, but that means they also don't make a Saga Construct. I don't know what's happening. My opponent could do anything. My opponent could cast fucking Searing Bridge, for all I know. Cast literal Smokestacks. Yeah. This doesn't make sense. We're constructing here? I mean, nope. Alright, not constructing. Sure. Yep, that's an expedition map, alright. That's an Anointed Peacekeeper. Yep, these are cards you can register. Name Yorion Sky Nomad. Tapped Wasteland. That's getting a little bit scary, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overlord's pretty good here. We could alternatively cast Lion Sash, equip it, and attack. But I imagine we can just cast Overlord to fucking kill them. We're also gonna get, like, Wastelanded into next week. Well, I mean, again, they would have no mana, so maybe not. Do I attack all here? Put them to 3? It's the same as 4, but with 3 2-power flyers. Oh, actually, I mean, we could... No, we could attack with Stoneforge and then Formal Wear it back, but that's our only spell. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Truly a battle of the unplayable mono-white decks, huh? Crack map. Tabernacle me. Wasteland me. Alright, they died. Alright, I don't know what's going on over there, but these Skyclaves seem pretty decent. Giant Killer's 4 power or more, so probably not. Flutes, maybe. Clarion Conquerors hit some of the Saga trinkets. I don't know. Step 1 is, let's get a lot of this shit out of here. I think those are the real bad cards. Those are the real stinkers. I guess? I'm not ecstatic to board in Disruptor Flute, but... It's maybe even just worse than having, like, white cards in my deck for Chrome Mox. I don't know, man. This is... a very perplexing matchup. Just a mono-white Stompy with, with main deck Saga and main deck Disruptor Flute and Expedition Map. We keep this. It's a little loose because we're soft to a Wasteland, but they are also maybe soft to a Wasteland. Chalice me? You got it. I will just Wasteland them. Diamond, that makes sense in your Wasteland Saga deck. Echoing Deeps, that makes a little bit less sense. What? There's no way this is a real card that is in your deck. What does this do? What does this do for you? Sure. They have 2 cards in hand. I think it's just culture check moment. Rather than, like, Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit scales a little bit better. Like, I can play it for X equals 1. I think it's a pretty decent time for a culture check. Hardcast Solitude, just... that would be unlucky. Specifically did this because they only had 3 mana and they would have to have had Soul Land to hardcast Solitude, but such is life sometimes. Well, found a pitch card if we want it. Mono White Initiative, some weird old version, and some weird... The Crystal Grotto at Echoing Deeps is... There's, like, a weird land package, which, sure, Echoing Deeps as, like... You convince yourself that, like, okay, I'm an Expedition map Urza Saga Wasteland deck, I want, like, this additional copy for some reason, but, like, I can't imagine a world where you're legitimately putting Crystal Grotto in your deck. Like, this is just... They put in this instead of Crystal Vein... would be my best guess. This is fine. If they have to, like, name Solitude, but then we can just still pitch cast. The art is nice. That's valid. Some nice art on it. More 1-drops is a little bit unlucky, but that's fine. We get a bunch of... We start getting tokens now. So we go to combat first in case... No, they only have 1 card in hand. Pay 2. I could hide info, but I think I'd rather pitch the worst card, assuming that I at some point blow up the Chalice. I'd rather have a Plow in hand. Could be a land for Haywire Might in the sideboard, but don't you just play... Oh shit, I'm getting Wasteland locked. Don't you just play, like, Scrubland? Or, I mean, Savannah? Do they have, like, Thought-Knot Seer in their deck, too? Alright, so this is our last turn. We could draw a white source here and be fine. That doesn't scry. Okay, I guess that's valid, but... But then, like, you need to find your one of Crystal Grotto and your one of Haywire Might. I think I attack here. This has to trade. Surely we will top deck a white source. Surely we will top deck a white source. Oh, I shouldn't auto yield because I'm going to want to wasteland the Crystal Grotto in response to them wastelanding me, which they obviously want to do. Here comes the Tabernacle. Shut up! Don't you put that evil on me. They can't do it this turn. They played the Wasteland. Nice. If my opponent plays Tabernacle, you're getting banned, y'all. I don't need these kind of demons. The Crystal Grotto is clearly for the Wasteland synergy with the Crucible. You just Wasteland your Crystal Grotto and then replay it and scry more. Obviously. Scry one every 2 turns, yes. We've broken it. That seems pretty bad for me, huh? Oh, that seems pretty good for me. So you're saying there's a chance. Culture time. White source off the top. Or land off the top. Or Chrome Box. Oh, we're doing it. Make your guy block a rabbit. I think I'm still supposed to attack all. Ask my opponent what the land is for. I don't like doing that because it feels very rude. But I'm definitely generally not very talkative in chat. Some people are like more willing to banter or, you know, ask your opponent stuff. But I don't want to come across as offensive. But like I am like, yeah, it is. It is definitely nice to like take an interest in your opponent's deck, and I'm sure most people see it that way. But also, like, in the middle of a game, maybe they don't want to, like, reveal that they have, like, Thought Knot Seer or something, and, like, this is the colorless land that they chose. Grabbing just a Mox Diamond? That doesn't feel like you're gonna win a game, unless they have, like, last card Solitude? Uh-oh. Shit. Shit, we're drawing so many basics. This is so good. So we can either play Archon, hold up Felia, or hold up Formalware for Jacked Rabbit. Any of which feels pretty good here. If we cast Archon, they have to attack with Solitude. They do have some giant constructs. Felia is less mana efficient, but can start killing construct tokens. I think Jackrabbit's the lowest on the list, although it does make, like, 3 guys. They don't attack into 6/6s very well. Opponent's 1 card in hand. Archon forces the Solitude attack. I am kind of forced to block because I don't want them gaining more life. But they probably send all in that case, which is, like, kind of disastrous. These things are just 6/6s straight out, so maybe I just need to Felia this turn. They probably want to attack with Solitude anyway. No, they can't, because I have holding up Formalware. But then I can Formalware back the Felia after they block. Okay, I think... But then we can't just kill the constructs because we're going to get Crucible Urza Saga. We can't just sit here taking a bunch of time killing all the constructs. I guess we're at 20. I think this is the moment that I want to play Archon. And then block the constructs down the road. They do have to be wary about how they attack, because I guess they can't just attack all, because then they just die on the backswing. So we do have them in a little bit of a bind. But they do have to attack with Solitude here, yep. We will double block it just to kill it forever. We stay at 20. We can pressure them down and then hold up Formula or Felia for the next turn. It's like Hardcast Touch. No. Dungeoneer. Okay. And then which is really good for me. I get a basic now. Unless the last card is removal for Archon, then it's pretty horrible for me. That is, in fact, pretty horrible for me. It's the best way for me to do this. I guess just say go. Hold up Formalware or Felia. See how they attack. Presumably they just attack with Dungeoneer. That has to be like the only line for them, right? I guess they have Saga now. It's the more blockers. If they don't get aggressive enough, we can form more back the Archon and just kill them that way. Yeah, if they're taking it slow, then I think we just form more back Archon and hope that's good enough. We might die. I don't know if they have like boots in their deck too. They could also, you know, just have another removal spell or something bad for my Archon. Plenty of bad things could happen here. Chalice X equals 2. Turns off my Felia, but I think we're just impending Overlord this turn. I mean, I think we're dead if they have boots. And we're not dead if they don't. Also, if they've like if they find any sort of interaction here, they can grab map off of Urza Saga and potentially find some piece of interaction. Who knows what's in their deck? If they have like a Maze of Ith or a I think that's the only one that I can really think of that would get me here. We're definitely dead if they just have like Lava Spur boots though. We're at an effective 5 life, perhaps 4. We'd have to block everything and then die. With them at 1. They're not just windmill slamming a boots. So that's good for me. I guess like Shadow Spear would also just fuck me up, right? They just gain 8 billion life. They have to have a Shadow Spear, right? Unless they boarded it out. Currency converter, that ain't gonna do it. Loot, try to find Solitude. Just block the 3 constructs with my 3 other blockers and attack. Try to attack for lethal with Archon is the plan. Get there. Do we get there? Feels like it's either you have lethal, or we're activating this currency converter trying to find lethal. Or trying to find removal. Surprised to see no boots or spear here. Possible that they drew that piece and it's locked out by their chalice. Or that they boarded it out. I imagine there's probably a spear in the main deck. You almost always see that in Saga decks. Something I didn't consider on like the several turns where I didn't cast Felia was like flickering out the chalice to cast Plow. Please no Solitude. Solitude plus white card is like the only thing that gets them out of this one, I think. Or touch the Spirit Realm. Cycle on an insect token. Attack all, have to block all the 10/10s. Yeah, that's the only attack that gives you a chance of winning. I guess you're supposed to attack with Dungeoneer first. Yeah. Because if you attack with Dungeoneer first and you scry a good card to the top, then you can draw into it with Converter. But if they just like looted into a bad card and then see March, they could have instead attacked, milled the bad card, and then drew into the March. Might have potentially cost them the game. Although they might have not been able to March an Archon of Emeria. They would have needed a white card as their other card in hand, which is definitely doable, right? Especially if you're looting. They were like a little bit too. Yeah, I think the turn prior to this, I think they were supposed to attack like at least one construct. I think they didn't pressure my life total enough. Would be my guess here. All right, could be touch. I don't know what's going on with this Crystal Grotto over here. Ugh. Winning in the weirdest fucking bracket. We like Snap conceded to go play in the super here, but I was feeling pretty comfortable against blue black tempo. I'll run to the bathroom. We'll finish up this league to wrap up the stream. Be right back. Also do a giveaway, huh? We got a code to toss out to the masses. play the other matches. We'll do a giveaway after next round. Give away some play points. I think this deck wants more flickers. But you want cards that are good when you flicker them, but also good disruption. I think Ranger Captain kind of falls into that slot. Which is why I wanted it in the deck. Despite the Ancient Tomb leaning. We could play the other Peacekeeper. What's the flying guy? God, Elite Spellbinder? That one's so bad against Orcish Bowmaster, though. Powers back? Hell yeah. Let's go. My opponent's lasting on oops all spells. Exciting. Ready to die. We lost the die roll, too. Can't pretend like our Stompy deck can win. But I like casting turn 1 Archon or something. I'll keep this. Maybe they're not on oops, who knows? Maybe they mold a 4. And then also don't turn 2 me. Or, like, get bodied by Wasteland, who knows? A lot of things could go right here. A lot of things could go wrong. Can't row. Or especially if they kept 7. If they are on oops, you just lose every single game that you play against oops. They keep 7 on the play and you're not a forceful deck. Just actually impossible to win. Unmask me. Reanimator? Jig is up. I get to F6. Oh, yeah, they pitch Grizzlebrand. They are, in fact, not playing oops all spells. Got a Caracas. We can't beat an Archon. Probably can't beat a Grizzlebrand even with the Caracas, but you know. I guess this means my choice doesn't matter. I'm going to kill you, presumably. Because this seems like the card they care about the least in this matchup. Yeah. Just take the 1-drop, put in an Archon or a Grizzlebrand or whatever. Yeah. I hope your 14 cards are not particularly good. Seems like a tall order. Something feels wrong about the Grimmaw events are being exclusively on Dark Ritual graveyard decks. Yeah, it's supposed to be exiling cards from the graveyard. Kind of fucked up. Blue Red Delver account name. I do appreciate when like people are all on like, named like Island Ponder Go, and they go Island Ponder Go. Or I played against someone that I think was named UR Delver a few weeks ago in like one of my trophy screenshots, and lo and behold, they were on Blue Red Delver. All right, maybe their 15 cards are all bad. I am Delver. Alright, well, they've discarded an Borborygmos, Thoughtseize Bug. Just let them kill me next turn, that's whatever. You got it. You got it. Yep. It's all above board. Really? Still no Archon, though? Like, oh, we're Goriosing. I see. Okay. Good thing I didn't get lazy and just activate my Caracas on Grizzlebrand. Oh, there's the Archon. Okay, they do have Archon. Just also Glorious Vengeance. A little curious to me. Thinking pedal, animate dead. Archon. They choose to put the Archon back into their deck. Pedal, Polluted Delta. Dark Grit. Unmask. You got it. Hands broken. Unbeatable. Love to take a shower and blow your nose approximately 238,950,756 times. You missed us getting absolutely murdered out of the Legacy Super. Now we're playing memes in this league. Entomb, there's the Archon. Alright, alright. So we top deck Source Supply Shares or Solitude, I guess. Oh, whoops, I was supposed to bounce this Crystal Rend. Now they get to, like, draw 7 cards. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I dropped out of the Super, yeah. Not playing it out. Not here to grind up to top 16. You gut shot them? Yeah, I get them. They're gonna gain 7, so I need the gut shot in my hand right now. Alright. I've seen enough. We saw Bayou, and it looked mono black, which makes me think that they just are going to be on the Witherbloom combo, like every other. I guess we board in Giant Killer, huh? Get this shit out of here. Get this shit out of here. Honestly, probably just take out like a bunch of like the Guide Pride package. Like over, maybe actually we cut all the overlords so we don't get those like reanimated. That would be kind of ugly. When we leyline them, we get like unmask, reanimate my overlord. Just run it like this. Seems okay. Felia's pretty awful in this configuration, huh? Maybe we actually cut 2 Felias instead of 2 guides. Actually, we don't have a containment priest, which makes more sense if we don't have Recruiter of the Guard, a tutor for it, but you could play like a couple, but seems fine. I don't know if I ever willingly registered Gut Shot in a D&T list, like, where it was worthwhile. I definitely don't own a foil one, for however much that's worth. Alright, cool, keep bottom Cauldron, put in Leyline. Die to, Witherbloom on turn 1. You played a foil copy? Nice. I definitely don't think I ever played one. I know like Daryl Ayers was playing like a gut shot far too long. He was playing a gut shot in like the Dreadhorde era, and I kept making fun of it. We're just gonna get like land Dark Grit. Oh, we're not getting fucking killed. Draw another land would be nice. Move to clean up deal. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. right, game 3 time. Mold a ley line again. Sit here and think about boarding in Disruptor Flute versus Reanimator to name Chain of Smog or Witherbloom Apprentice. Boarding in Clarion Conqueror to turn off Grizzlebrand. That seems like not a real play that matters. What are the cards that I would cut? Guides or Felias? I do think Felia's like pretty bad in a post-board configuration against Reanimator. To the point that maybe I just want Flute to lessen my ability to get cheesed by Witherbloom. We could maybe just do this. It is like cutting down on white cards for Solitude. I don't really think that matters too much though. This seems like an okay configuration. You know, so like, there are worlds where you like name Grizzlebrand in response to a reanimate on Grizzlebrand or something, and then you have a removal spell for it, and they don't draw 14, they just gain 7 life or whatever. Conquer on the play, maybe? Yeah. Definitely more considerable where you can like try to turn 1 it to turn off a Grizzlebrand or something. But like the fact that you have to play it out and then they get to like entomb for something else, and then also you turned off the Chrome Mox that you used to play it out. It's not like Conqueror is like free for our deck anyway. This hand would have slapped on the play, huh? Turn 1 Thalia, turn 2 Sash with White up. Am I allowed to keep? I feel like I'm not allowed to keep this. I think my opponent's gonna fucking kill me on turn 1, huh? This hand is really nice. Ugh. I can also, like, turn 1 with Thalia even if I get Thought Seized. Because of Formalware. We have Skyclave to... like, Thalia into, like, Skyclave on what's it called? Witherbloom Apprentice, because Thalia makes it less likely for us to get, like, 1 turn to play all those. God. This is really tempting. I feel like I'm just going to get turn 1 if I keep this hand. I guess that's just the bind you get put in. I'm going to keep. I'd like it a lot more if we had, like, an answer for a turn 1 creature, so we could, like, Solitude or Plow a turn 1 creature out of play, or if we had, like, a Crocus. It's just so risky. But if we mulligan for Leyline, then we just get... God. It's... I don't know. Maybe they'll just like mold a 3 and so they can't turn 1 me, and then we can just Thalia them. It's okay, I just have Fairy Macabre. Don't turn 1 me. Oh, nice. Don't... Okay, also nice. Not getting, like, turn 1 Underground Mortuary Entomb to Entomb and then, like, Lotus Spell Reanimate. The most tilting possible turn 1. Alright, we're pitching this Giant Killer for sure. Well, yeah, I think so. I think with Thalia in play, I feel safe enough to get to this Sash where I don't want to pitch the Skyclave because I want the Skyclave to answer Witherbloom Apprentice, but I feel like I'm not as likely to get reanimated. Notably, the Giant Killer would be a way to answer a giant creature, but I think I'm less likely to win a game where my opponent plays a giant creature anyway, whether that's like Archon or Grizzlebrand or Atraxa, even if I Giant Killer it. Versus just Skyclaving the Witherbloom next turn. If only I could pitch this pre-roll for more. Kind of fucked up that I can't, huh? Because this is an exactly 1 turn window through with Thalia for them to reanimate before I get the Sash online. Even if they discard spell me. Obviously there are ways they could do that, but... do have to be careful of Gorios. Because they have instant speed ways of reanimating. Our hand is fairly Thoughtseize proof, which is nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just eat. Versus 4 cards hand with Athalia in play. I need to push damage. I'm also not going to equip. I don't think there's a lot in their deck that could threaten the Sash. And I lose 1 damage by equipping. We have 5, 6 here. Versus if we equipped Athalia, we have 5 damage. So we would miss lethal if there no other cards enter the graveyard. We actually would not have lethal the next turn, like over 2 turns. I think it's fairly minor, and I don't think these decks usually have a lot of creature-based removal. You can Skyclave that. We cannot Skyclave that. Going to not eat. We already have lethal. We could draw another Formor to eat the pedal. Oh, that's an exceptionally good draw. Yeah, not a ton of room for removal, you're right, when they have to spend so much of their sideboard on the Withered Bloom package. Yeah, that should lock it up. Archon means we can't get Withered Bloomed here. It would take a lot for them to be able to Wither Bloom me, in fairness, but... like, if their hand was like Dark Rit, maybe? Before the Archon, at least. You got it. Dark Ritual go. Whew. Alright. This deck? I mean, we played against a lot of nonsense this league, so it's hard to make like real decisions based on playing against blue-red Obosh, mono-white, Saga Initiative, and Reanimator, which is just did you find your sideboard cards? And then we conceded in game 1 versus blue-black tempo, so it's hard to draw any real conclusions, but yeah, my opponent was fucking cooking harder than I was. They had like Intuition, Demigod, Ox of Agonis, Detectives Phoenix, Obosh. It did not look very playable. Where is the... let's run a poll. Not poll. Giveaway. Giveaway. Let's do Obosh. pay respects to my opponent. We're giving away 120 play points here before the final round. You type Obosh in the chat. Where is type Obosh? Type Obosh in chat. Get your chance at 120 play points, courtesy of Daybreak Games. We will end the giveaway whenever I remember, whether that's after game 1 or at the end of the stream here. We'll do the last round here. I hate it when my brainworm deck ideas like actually feel like they're at least a little bit playable, because then I have to like give it more thought rather than be like, okay, that was terrible, put it in the trash can, move on. I don't know. Ancient Tomb is like a pretty messed up Magic card. You can cast a lot of like really good cards off of Ancient Tomb. You just have to find the right ones. Get your Oboshes in. Respect to Demi-Chicking, which is maybe they're just like a dedicated demigod enjoyer. Then named themselves after demi. Do people call it the chicken? I think it's like it's got wings, right? Demi-Chicken, ing, but it's chicking. I don't know. Maybe their name has nothing to do with Demigod of Revenge, but like, you gotta be a certain type of player to register Demigod of Revenge in 2025 Legacy, right? I have played against Demigod of Revenge a non-zero amount of times before today. I think the answer might be one, maybe two, but I definitely recall playing against it at least one other time in my life. It was approximately as good then. Last seen 2 days ago on Blue Black Reanimator. Alright. No, I'll keep this. The current builds of Blue Black Reanimator really perplex me. I've seen a bunch of Blue Black lists that are just on like 4 Entomb, 4 Reanimate, and like 1 Animate Dead, and that's the whole package. It just feels like you're losing out on a lot of your like free win potential. Because you just don't have enough Reanimates, but I mean, cantrips are a hell of a drug, so maybe you just cantrip into them every time. Who knows? Classic Felia, super good card hand. We'll get our Ocelot Pride Bowmastered and cry a lot about it. Cry a lot about why we registered Ocelot Pride in Legacy. And wow, unlucky. Could play around Days. Could not play around Days. Not take 2 damage. If Felia gets dazed, how bad is it? We have second Felia. Five cards in hand. Don't even really want Felia in play yet because it doesn't do anything. I'll probably cast it on instead. I don't want to block because I would like to attack and kill the Orc Army token, and then if I block the Bowmasters, it just turns on a Reanimate for the Bowmaster to kill a Felia. Inquisition of Kozilek. Sure. Inquisition's an interesting one. Just like the 5th copy of Thoughtseize. This is the best one. Doesn't take forces, but we've seen a lot of some decks play Inquisition in the past as the 5th discard spell, depending on what they want to take. Sometimes Depths played them because they didn't care as much about Forceful, but they cared a lot about like Source of Plowshares. This is probably for the tempo matchups. If they take a Felia, I probably don't cast the other Felia now. Yeah, I probably just wait. It's possible I was even supposed to just like Chromox pitch one of the Felias and just play around Days that way. Hold up Caracas. But I don't think we're in a ton of rush to cast this Felia given our complete lack of ability to utilize it at all. Oh. No attacks. Is that like baiting me into casting this? You just always attack if you have an answer to the Felia, right? Like, if you attack, if you have days there, you just always. I guess maybe they didn't want to play. No, you wouldn't give a shit about Razor Grass Ambush. I'll cast the Felia now. I'm going to tap the Caracas because holding up the Caracas doesn't really do anything given the Wasteland. Force them to activate the Wasteland if they wanted to, like, Fatal Push the Felia or whatever, but... Maybe I was supposed to hold off on the Tomb, because if they, like, take my land and Wasteland my land, we're down a bunch of resources. Force Pitch Borrower, interesting. Maybe they Wasteland the Tomb now, then? Take my land, Wasteland Tomb. But we're still pretty decent on resources. We're not under a ton of pressure. They take the Chrome Mox. That feels worse than taking my land, but okay. Damn, the Thoughtseize bug. The one time you don't really want the Thoughtseize bug, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I don't think I'm plowing these soon. Definitely not into like a day's last card. I might plow one like next turn. What's this? Am I getting Kaito'd? Oh god. Oh, thank god. No. This could technically not be Reanimator. Out of all the cards we've seen, this could still technically be like Tempo. Ugh, I think I have to play this Archon into a daze. We have one card left. Nice. What do I even want to top deck here? Not really that. Am I good exchanging damage? I think I am. Fetch your basic or whatever. Opponent knows my whole hand. I don't know anything about the opponents, but... Right. Awkward that I miss out on damage here if I plow. If I don't plow, because I could like play Archon and then plow. They have no cards in hand though, so I think it's fine. Just develop more. Play second Archon and then cast plow. It's just like more mana efficient. Oh, I didn't notice the Wasteland. That's actually a little bit awkward, because it means my Yorion's super far off now. Ooh. The really awkward thing about this game is that I have genuinely no idea if I'm supposed to board in ley lines. Brazen Borrower? That's fine. This rabbit is jacked. Two-mana Ponder. That seems really good for me. We do attack for 1 billion this turn. I could maybe find a Bowmaster to gum things up a little bit, but if they're just keeping Bowmaster as their card, then I feel pretty confident that we just get like 2 attack steps to kill them anyway. Truly no idea if this is just a weird tempo. The Marsh Flats, to me, maybe... Is that supposed to be like a tell? Marsh Flats, double Borrower. It feels like it's Reanimator. Also, just like their significant lack of like any pressure. Double Sewers is a little odd for tempo, I think. Oh man, Gaia Soul's Jackrabbit, pop off. This card doesn't do a ton, huh? It's possible this card's not supposed to be in my deck. I was just like, it's like the only Ranger Captain Bullet I could think of that could even be close to playable. You board it versus like Murktide decks, but it might just be pretty bad, huh? Another awkward situation where I don't really want Overlords in my deck if I'm boarding in Leylines versus a Reanimate deck. And then once we're boarding out Overlords, then Felios like rapidly become unplayable. Feels a little bit better here though, because this is a pretty grindy matchup where you can get like a bunch of Formula value. I think I'm just gonna board like this, and if they aren't on Reanimator, then so be it, I guess. We'll pitch some Leylines to Chromox, you know? I think opponent had enough tells in game 1 to make me want Graveyard Hate. Is this hand good enough versus Reanimate? I think, again, like I was talking about, they don't always just, like, insta-kill you, which makes Leyline worse because you don't want to mulligan to it. But also makes, like, these sort of hands more keepable, where we just have, like, Pride Formalware is, like, pretty nuts. But also, like, pretty sensitive, pretty weak to Wasteland. We're already on a Molda 6. This Contra is glued to this hand, but I think we just bottom it here, even with the Stoneforge. And this hand plays a little bit better, at least. Oh, nice. Pretty decent one to draw. Go get him, Ocelot Pride. I believe in you. God, non-tomb. I should stop saying that before the surveil trigger resolves, because oftentimes maybe not oftentimes, but sometimes it is just entomb. Yep, there's Bowmaster. Question is, do I just slam Formalware now? I kind of like it because it lets me double spell next turn. It's bad into days, but like I don't want to like just play around days by casting my card off Ancient Tomb my like 2 drops off Ancient Tomb every turn. So like if they do daze me, it's fine. We have double 2-drop afterwards, or we get wastelanded and then we can play these through days. And if they don't have days, then it's just really good. Maybe I was supposed to consider getting a Lion Sash online a little bit more, though. Play a bit more respectfully towards the Entomb stuff. Next turn is likely just Caracas, Stoneforge, grab Sash, then Sorcery Speed Felia. We could potentially Wasteland them, but it's looking less and less like that's a reasonable play. Borrow the Pride. 2-drop removal spell the Pride? Yep, alright. Solitude's a nice pickup as well. I kind of want to just Stoneforge for another Formal War. Like, I don't want... I guess Sash is pretty good here. They have 4 cards in hand. And if the Felia lives... If the Felia doesn't live, we're still sitting pretty comfortably still. We're probably supposed to get Sash. Days? Nope. If they thought seized me, I should let it happen. Sash in the graveyard would be kind of nice for like flickering Formalware potentially, and we could potentially hardcast Solitude as well. This is like digging for more interaction. Because if they let me attack with Felia and flicker the Formalware and stuff, then things get really bad really fast. Dang it. Okay, no, it's Thoughtseize. I was really scared of Entomb. Thoughtseize could be bad. If something happens. I'm trying to get better about not saying the exact bad thing to happen to me, because it just always happens if I say it. It always just happens if I think it. I just can't think about my opponent's plays, huh? Yeah, this is the bad news if they Solitude me, that they get to reanimate the Solitude and kill my Felia. We're still even, like, okay here. Captain, pretty awkward here, because we can't double spell. Something worth noting about Ranger Captain is on 4 mana you want to double spell with it. Like, you know, play it into the 1-drop. I stopped saying the exact play I was afraid of in Trophy like twice in 3 weeks. I didn't say it, and then it still happened to me. I don't know what I don't know what it wants. I was like, oh, the thought is it because I started the sentence? Oh, the Thoughtseize could be bad, but I mentally finished it. Do I just like? I kind of want to wasteland them. Is that crazy? It is their turn 4. They missed a land drop, notably. I kind of want to wasteland them, right? They didn't daze me. Yeah, they didn't play a land last turn. I let the thought a little too far out into the world. I guess so, yeah, I just always regret wastelanding these fucking tempo decks, huh? It's just also awkward because I can't really activate. Actually, I think this is fine. If they tap at all, then I can safely sash through Bowmasters. Yeah, the poll is still... The giveaway is still running. They can attack me for 3 here. It's fine. Attack all? Okay, yeah, that seems much better. I'll take 3. If they just leave up 2 mana, then I just don't activate the sash and play into second Bowmaster like a dunce. If they do this, then I just bounce the Tamiyo. Because there's no Bowmaster to be worried about. You can have that one back. Brainstorm? Sure. You let us know. We thought it. We said it. It's the same. Oh, okay. I say it's bad if something happens. Chat finishes the sentence for me. I see. I see. Not really the draw I wanted, huh? I think I just equip Formalware to Sash and send it at the Tamiyo. Oh no, I send both at Tamiyo, because then they double block, I kill the Tamiyo. Otherwise I at least chip it down 1. I want to draw here. More white lands, honestly. So I can cast spells and hold up Sash activations. I might have to just tap out this turn. Cast Ranger Captain. Declines to use Ponder. Thoughtseize. Alright, well, so much for that plan. Makes sense. Ouch. Waste on my Caracas. Not wastelanding the Caracas, interesting. with the Bowmaster. Double block. Okay. Do I want to put Yorion in my hand here? Go to 5. Yorioning the Brew for more and the Stoneforge would be really good, but I would have to go to 5 and then also like tap both Ancient Tombs, to cast the Yorion and go to like basically 1 life. So I think I just say go here and try to encourage them to maybe wasteland my Ancient Tomb. I'm surprised they didn't just wasteland my Caracas. Do they have a plan for this mana, maybe? Murktide? Why are they tapping the Wasteland, though? Oculus. Guess they did have a plan for the mana. Kind of wish I had a Yorion in hand, huh? Maybe we'll just top deck like... I actually know what my plan is. My plan is not draw more Ancient Tombs, that's for sure. We're just going to get hit for 5 and go to 4. Playing the Tombs really doesn't matter at all. We just need a top deck. I don't actually know what we can top deck. I mean, it's like Plow, Solitude. Fucking giant killer. Oh, they did wasteland the Ancient Tomb. Pretty nice for me. I mean, I don't think it matters. I think we're going to lose to this ult and Theoport Oculus. Oh, okay. That's pretty bad for me. Because now even if we draw Plow, we can't beat both of these things. We're going to get attacked down to 4 and then also not be able to attack the Tamiyo or before it ults and kills me. No attack is crazy, right? I guess the ult kills me. Guarantee. Is there anything I can draw to punish this? Cauldra? Because, like, if they attack, I'm at 4 life, I plow the Manifest and attack the Tamiyo, and then I still just die, right? Unfortunate. This Tamiyo preventing me from, like, chipping at it with 1/2s as well. guess I should plow the Manifest, right? This thing doesn't have, like, Shroud or whatever, or Ward. So I plow the Manifest, it forces the Abhorrent Oculus block. Well, I guess technically it doesn't. I don't think it matters. They're going to gain 3 extra life or whatever. We're going to lose game 2 here. It's fine. Abhorrent Oculus, important card to know for game 3. Was it 6 cards exiled? Yeah. We saw Barrogoyf too. I wonder if they boarded out the Entomb stuff. We should see some of it happen, right? They're at 20 life. Can't play this out a little longer to gain some info. But they also don't move to discard, so who knows if we'll actually see anything. Versus them just, like, casting Animate Dead on cards that, like, don't matter a ton. Just, like, kill me with them instead of... Oh. I kind of didn't expect that to resolve, I'm going to be honest. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I could have equipped it and blocked and gained some counter, and then they just have 18 cards and have removal spells. Guess I could have made it uncounterable. And equipped it to the Guide of Souls. I should actually just let this Barrogoyf connect on, let them mill. See if I can find an Entomb or an Atraxa in there. Rather than dying to a removal spell now. And not being able to see because I doubt that Barrogoyf triggers on this deck. Whoops. Yeah, because now if they just have, like, Fatal Push or whatever, and then you just kill me. Come on, just attack. Oh, you can, this is a May? Fuck. Alright, fair enough. Opponent really doesn't want to show me anything. Didn't actually know this was a May, because it doesn't really come up. Alright. I guess Barrogoyf, huh? Maybe Giant Killer is good. Barrogoyf and Oculus. I'll probably get this GTA out of here. Drunk Felius would have been pretty okay that game. Maybe we shave down on Ranger Captains. Maybe Ranger Captain isn't. I don't know. This hand doesn't feel like it does anything. Alright, this hand does some stuff. Not super interesting. I think we bottomed this Giant Killer that we boarded in. Don't really think that's a cast on turn 1 sort of card, huh? Would be a little nice versus a Tamiyo. But it's like a pretty huge mana investment every turn. I don't think we just slam Archon. Maybe I'm supposed to. Against Underground Sea Go. Definitely feels like we're just going to get high roll Entomb reanimated. No. Deal. This hand kind of wants to play around days. I will plow this. It feels like they just are setting up Brainstorm. Maybe I'm okay with that. If they have like Brainstorm into Force of Will, this gets pretty bad. I could like play Archon and hold up Plow. And if they cast a spell, I can plow it then. They get like a clue out of it, but I was gonna feel so smart when I say block to player on Kaito, but then they just played their tap land, so block for fun instead. Alright, they can't cast any more spells, and we can plow the Tameo after the Brainstorm resolves. Archon was a little bit risky into a Brainstorm. I guess. Then we have... If I Archon and then they Brainstorm in response, I can still plow. And if they have counter, then I still have Skyclave back up. And the Tameo flipping's at... The Tameo is flipping at 2. It's bad into, like, Days Force, I guess. But I don't think I had any good plans into Days Force. Oh, Entomb. Oh, that's pretty bad for me. Kind of wish they'd Entombed Archon, but I guess that's why they didn't. Alright, not getting reanimated, but we are getting Thought Seized, which kind of sucks. Can't plan a response to Brainstorm. Well, the Archon's on the stack. After the Archon resolves, they Brainstorm, then the thing's at 2, and then we still have Skyclave. They just, like, flip the thing on their own turn. Play my almost no value Yorion? Probably. Just get a 4-5 into play. Flicker the Archon of Emeria. Get an energy. I was a little worried I was going to get consigned there. Archon resolves untap plus, and then you just force for Skyclave. Yeah, I guess. And then, but then we also have Archon in play, which only attacks the Tameo for 1 as it ticks up. What was the better line, you think? Just like say go. Maybe cast Skyclave? No, we didn't have triple white yet. Say go and then let it attack once and then Skyclave with plow up? Or plow with Skyclave up? tragic. Archon, I knew thee well. You were pretty important to my plans of winning this game. Plow to then Archon after that. What happens if they brainstorm in response to the plow? Then aren't we just in the same position? Where things are bad? Don't like all this churning you're doing over there, opponent. It's possible that maybe the instant plow was the play, right? Instant plow, and then eat shit to like Daze plus Force specifically. Maybe the like plow into Skyclave was the line. I guess it also eats shit to Brainstorm plus Force. Ooh, hang on. Do we play this for no value? To deal extra damage, we would deal 7, put them to 4. That seems pretty worthwhile. Five damage puts them to 6. They already can't reanimate the Atraxa, which is nice. I think I jumped the Yorion, even though I want to jump the Guide. Yorion's harder to kill. They have like Fatal Push and Edicts and stuff. I guess mostly just Fatal Push, huh? Maybe we jump the Guide. If we jump the Guide and they have Fatal Push for the Guide, then we still put them to 7, which means reanimates off the table. The other question is, do we take 2 to hold a plow? I don't think so. If they Fatal Push, they probably just kill the Guide now. Or I guess they kill the Guide now because they don't want me to jump the Yorion. And, yeah, I don't think any of my plays were very good into Brainstorm plus Force of Will. So I think the plan should be to, like, whatever the best play is into Brainstorm plus Force of Will. They can reanimate my Skyclave, which is worse. If I jump, I'm jumping the Yorion. I'm sticking to my guns here. This is the play I think is right. Would Skyclave be OP if it could exile tokens? I don't think it would be, and it would be so much nicer. How does a flying creature jump? Good question. I guess this is worse into Brazen Borrower blocker. No, they would just borrow the Yorion in that case. I guess that was a reason to not jump the Yorion borrower. If it could target tokens and had no CMC restriction, both of those would be a little extreme, I think, because then you could just be Skyclaving your Skyclave tokens. Yeah, this was the misplay on the jumping that I did not think about, but I still feel pretty comfortable this game, especially with this Archon of Emeria. End them at 1 life. I guess they get to cast the Brazen Borrower, but whatever. Exile non-illusion tokens. Alright, that seems like much more feasible. I don't plow this borrower, because I may want to plow a Barrogoyf. No CMC restriction seems pretty busted. Does it? It's the better tempo, but like It's like maybe too good for like lesser powered formats, but you're already like, it's so hard to go tempo positive on Skylight. Yes, we did it. 4-1, where my only loss was a game 1 concession because we went to go play the Super. Skylight, your Emrakul go. Yeah, but like your opponent puts the Emrakul. I think that's a pretty fair thing. And if you kill the Skyclave, then you get a 15-15 token, which is really scary. I think that's a valid sequence of events that could happen. Yeah, against Delver, you're like, okay, Murktide the Skyclave the Murktide, and then it's like, okay, Bolt, get a 7/7 attack, you kill you. It's like, it is it's a very risky card. I think that Valve was mostly probably for standard, where Skyclave could be like a way bigger tempo blowout because spells just inherently cost more. But we 4-1'd with this deck, huh? I would agree with that, Acolyth. I think like there would be no deck in like any format besides Death and Taxes or like, you know, like Death and whatever modern Death and Taxes and Black White Blink that would be playing Skyclave, just because it can hit 4 drops all of us or 5 drops all of a sudden. 4-1 with this pile. Yeah, our literal only loss was was us conceding in game 1 because match 2 of the Super started. Maybe this deck. I hate it when I do. I was saying this before the last round, but like I hate it when these like weird brainworm decks do okay, because then I have to think about them more. Ranger Captain Veos literally never showed up at all. But like the deck thesis of, I think pre-war formware is really busted if you can like consistently buy back strong cards like ahead of schedule. Like you play powerful cards above curve with Ancient Tomb and Chrome Mox, and then you can get them back reliably with pre-war formware, like pre-war formware back Archon and stuff like versus Delver. And like the best way to support this sort of package, play Stoneforge, is probably to play Felia. Kind of wanted to play Overlord with Felia because I do think this is a really good card if you're playing a Felia Ancient Tomb deck. I cut it down to 60, and then I was like, I kind of just want to put in Yorion, and then I had a 60 card version, but I couldn't fit all my cards, and I felt like the deck wanted some extra oomph. Yorion was pretty good in a few of our games today. You probably cut like any number of these cards. Jackrabbit's mostly like a funsies card. I don't know, these... I still like was kind of underwhelmed by Guide of Souls. I really don't see the vision on that card in Legacy. It just looks so unimpressive all the time. Like, it helps in the red-white decks when you're enabling not Harness Lightning, the Galvanic Discharge? Yeah, that one. And Amtraptor, but like Guide of Souls is only really good in your Ocelot Pride draws. And if you're playing Yorion, you're reducing the amount that you have this like Guide Pride sequence, but like this deck might honestly be better if you just like cut 4 guides and played 4 moms or something. You just play like, if you stick to Ranger Captain, which you also don't need to, you play like 1 guide for like the Ranger Captain attack with Felia, Flicker Ranger Captain, grab Guide Pride combo. You just play like a singleton copy of Guide of Souls. Gotta play with Amtraptor and Voice of Victory. It's not even that good with those cards. I mean, obviously it's good with Amtraptor and Voice of Victory, but you get the triggers after. They're like a lot of cards that you play and then untap. You cast your Guide of Souls, you untap, you cast your Voice of Victory, you untap again, you attack with everything. You don't get to jump anything, right? Wait, do you? You do, yeah, because you can stack the triggers in the way that you do get to jump something that turn. Okay, so that's a little bit more valid. I was thinking it took the extra turn, but it doesn't. But it's possible the Ranger Captains aren't very good, but I kind of wanted, like, good 3-drops that pair with both Felia and Formal Wear, which are in a little short supply. We could maybe play Spellbinder in this deck. I just hate registering Spellbinder in the Orcish Bowmaster format. Maybe I'll look for more. It's hard to fill in the gaps of being both a good disruptive Stompy 3-drop and a card that has an ETB for Felia. Yeah, I mean, the white's not that rough next to Ancient Tombs. Given that, like, we aren't like a Ancient Tomb City of Traders deck, we do just have, like, the 8 colorless sources in our, like, 33 land deck. It is awkward that it's not a card, like, you can turn to reliably, like Archon or whatever, off of Ancient Tomb. Kutzel's Ambusher? That's not a real disruptive card. It's what, Flash Tormod's Crypt or Scry 2? Or some mode that doesn't matter, get counters based on how many things died this turn. I don't think that's like a real choice. I think the next best disruptive 3, the card that would meet all that criteria is probably just Elite Spellbinder. What about a 2-white Orc Cleric that has a relevant ETB 3/3 or something? That sounds pretty good in theory, whatever that card might be. We could play, like, a 2-drop. We could play, like, Invasion of Gobakon, something I've done in Dual Commander with Felia. At some point, cutting enough creatures makes Formalware worse, so something a needle that needs to be threaded. I did think about something like Staff the Storyteller in this deck, too. You could maybe, like, switch out some more tokeny stuff. Or switch out some of the not tokeny stuff for more tokeny stuff and play, like, Staves. Formalware and White Plume legal together, what an hammer. Oh, man, Formalware would have probably genuinely flipped, like, the Delver matchup on its head. That card just would be so unbeatable. In an initiative, you play your White Plume, it gets countered. Okay, 5/5 Vigilance White Plume. You play your Archon, gets bolted or whatever. Okay, 4/5 Archon of Maria versus Delver. GG. Holy. I often dream of the world where they didn't ban White Plume fast enough, and then Lord of the Rings comes out, and we get Orcish Bowmaster, and we get to play Cavern on Orc that casts Uncounterable Bowmaster and Uncounterable White Plume, and Orcish Bowmaster kills Unchained Berserker out of the Delver sideboards. Oh. That would have been a world to live in. But I think the For More world probably even more messed up. You're going to keep playing Pride, and then Delany's actually kind of busted. I think Delany just kind of sucks, doesn't it? Delany just doesn't do anything. Delny. Well, I don't know if it's back. Stuff is unblockable. Whenever something triggers, it triggers again. It's just an Ocelot Pride Guided Souls card, right? Does it do anything with Felia? It does something with Felia on first attack. Do you get to choose a new target? I assume that's how it works. Grief's also legal on that timeline? Oh, yeah, that's true. You probably play, like, Ephemerate, Grief, Bowmaster, White Bloom Adventurer, Nightmare Pile. I was watching a stream, my grandma walked past that. She says you're cute. Thank you, Gwynep's grandma. Much appreciated. I should do it at the end of the giveaway. All right, the last 30 seconds, anyone types Obosh to get 120 play points. I've been musing about this deck instead of ending the stream or ending this giveaway. Give people last minute entries in before we wrap up the stream here. Man, I don't want to think about this deck more. This has been such a persistent brain worm for me, though, is Formalware in a Stompy deck. Because Formalware getting back 3-drop, like, big, chunky 3-drops is so good. And like, there's so much tempo in the format right now, and not a lot of Swords to Plowshares. like Formula is really, really good against Blue Black and Delver and like the Thought Seizes and stuff, and it's much worse against Sword Plowshares, but those are like just almost exclusively the Nadu decks at this point, and like the odd Death and Taxes player. Man, I really wish you could pitch Formula to Chrome Box, huh? That'd be pretty nice. Delny double Solitude counts as disruption. Does it? Doesn't it not work? Yeah, it's power 2 or less, not toughness 2 or less or anything. You can't double Solitude or double Ranger Captain. You double Jacktrap it if it's a 2-3. Alright, last giveaways are in, and the winner is... Oh, Jamie rigged. It's okay, I'll help. These play points will go to a good place. You need to fuel your lunatic desires to play red-white energy in Legacy. Rigged as always. As if we do every week. Jamie... Oh, this is the first time you want to play point code? Alright, maybe it's less rigged. Thought I'd given one to you before. There you go, whispered in Twitch. Surprises me how little source flashers there are there. It made sense for a while, but now I don't get it. All the best creatures right now are Goyfs. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think Kaito and, what's it called? Quarry Steel Cutter are reasons that you don't, but like, I don't know. Why is control bad? I think control's mostly bad because it's not Nadu, I think you just, if you're playing like a Bant Uro control deck, or even just like, you know, Beans, Leyline Binding, whatever, you're probably better off just playing a, like, just regular Bant Nadu, and have that as your end game, rather than like Beans, Uro, draw cards, whatever. So like, how many plow decks are left after you X out control? It's like just DNT and Nadu. Those are like the main plow decks right now. Could also change this into a Chalice deck if Guide Pride sucks, but Swords of Plow, we were just talking about how like good Swords of Plowshares is if you can afford to play it. I think Plow is more worth it than Chalice is. Chalice isn't even that good right now, except against specifically Delver. Not that good against Blue-Black Tempo or like the premier combo decks like Oops and Show and Tell. Not that good against like Nadu. Yeah, the control decks would also have to cyber super aggressively to beat Oops, because you can't just like beat it with, you know, Force of Will and like Force of Negations. I think if you're playing like genuine Beans Uro, you'd probably have to just register Leylines or something. Guide of Souls over Chalice. I definitely agree Plow over Chalice. I don't know about Guide of Souls just continues to like be a very medium card. But this deck also isn't supporting Guide of Souls very well, right? Guide of Souls is better when you're generating tokens, but like it's exclusively like Overlord, Jackrabbit, Ocelot Pride, but like if you're just casting Felia and Stoneforge and like 3 drops that just put in 1 creature per turn, it's not nearly as good as if you're playing like Amped Raptor, a Johnny, but like once if we're a 1-color deck, then the token makers do become just inherently less good, right? Because we don't necessarily want a Johnny in a deck without red cards. You lose Amped Raptor. We're just like not as token generating-y. So maybe we cut, I think. What are the considerations? Just like all of these cards, pretty much. You play more 3 drops and more Soul Lands. And the problem with more Soul Lands is that this deck, I think, never wants to play City of Traders ever. Just never wants to put it into play until you hit like 5 mana or something. You can't really go turn 1, Chromox City of Traders cast a 3-drop or whatever, because you want to like cast your 3-drop and then cast Stoneforge Mystic, hit another land drop, cast another 2-drop. Just play 4 Cauldron and Ugin's Nexus. I see. Or Ugin's Labyrinth, yeah, as our secondary soul land. Could maybe play Lotus Petal. But I do think this deck kind of wants to go long a little bit. That's why I went with Chromox's over Lotus Petals to begin with. Because I think this deck wants like permanent mana sources to cast stuff up the curve. This deck is like almost TNT, right? TNT adjacent White Stompy. We're like a Thalia Stoneforge deck. Alright, food for thought for another time. Lotus Petal and Yorion does not sound like a combo. You're not wrong. Anointed Peacekeeper is not bad. Yeah, but the problem with Anointed Peacekeeper is that it's much worse with Felia than Elite Spellbinder. But the problem with Elite Spellbinder is that it sucks a lot. So, like, maybe you just play Anointed Peacekeeper and accept the kind of inherent Felia dyssynergy, because it's just so much a better card. It's also not, like, the worst with Felia, because you can put it on a card, and then they eventually, like, pay the price to cast their, like, 3-mana Brainstorm or whatever, and then you, Felia, name a different card. Food for thought for a different time, I suppose. I don't know why I, like, stacked out all these cards weird, and then, because I was going to screenshot this deck. Should make it look presentable. 5/5 double vigilance OP. You could just cut the Felia because it sucks. But like that is yes. This the whole thesis is that first thing you posit is that Form War is really good when you're getting back a bunch of like really chunky 3-drops and you have mana to do it like ahead of curve and stuff. So you want to play Formal Wear, you want to play like Archon Ephemeria, you want to play Stoneforge Mystic because it's good with Formal Wear. You get all that done, then what? The next card that's good with Formal Wear is Yorion, but also Felia. Maybe we take it in a token direction and you cut like Felia Overlord, but then if you take it in a token direction, you play like you play Staff, then you're making your Formal Wars worse. You play like a Johnny Staff or something. And then, like, we get access to better 3-drops for Formal Wear if we don't need them to synergize with Felia, but then we're playing Anointed Peacekeeper, which is, like, still not working super in tandem with the rest of the deck. Nor is it, like, particularly powerful in a variety of matchups outside of, like, specifically combo. I might just be Spellbinder, huh? Staff is unplayable trash, trust me. Yeah, that's probably valid. Especially my Chromox deck. You don't want, like, Staff and Formal Wear. You don't actually have white cards to pitch. Maybe we could cut, like, Ranger Captain Guide of Souls, play Spellbinders, play more, like, Thalias or Jacked Rabbits. Jacked Rabbit gets worse if you cut Guide of Souls, though. It's kind of just, like, a stupid beater that's nice with Formal Wear, so maybe you cut those two. Play a different 3-drop. Oh, well. Food for thought for a different time. Let's wrap up the stream. This Giant Killer was, like, embarrassingly bad, too. This probably shouldn't be in the deck, huh? I don't think there's any other playable Ranger Captain Bullet. It was just the only one that I thought of, and I thought it was kind of cute. And I was like, oh, you board Universe Murktide or whatever, but this guy probably just dog shit in Legacy, huh? I've sat here, just talking about random shit long enough. Let's go raid someone instead, huh? Ooh, Tony's 4-0 in the Legacy Super? Alright, hell yeah. Let's go raid Tony, huh? Benevolent Bodyguard. Be still my dual commander heart, huh? Alright, let's go raid Tony. He's playing some Legacy and doing some winning, which seems pretty good. Judge's Familiar. I guess that isn't embarrassing. I guess you would just... But, like, is it a card you're boarding in for the sole purpose of grabbing it with Ranger Captain of Eos? I guess. You board in versus combo and you get a little bit insulated because you have the Silence and then you have a Mana Tithe. I guess it's okay. Anyway. Ooh, doesn't look great for Tony right now. Play 4 for the 4 more synergy. Oh no. Alright. I'm ending this before this conversation goes too far. Start the raid. Go say hi to Tony for me. I'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know what I'm playing. Maybe red, white. Maybe this. Who knows? Maybe I'll think about this more. Maybe I'll play it more. Probably not. I'm probably too busy playing Clair Obscure to play another league with this before Tuesday. But let's ship you all over that way. See you around.